Hello and welcome to Y.A.R.P episode 104. We're reviewing Invincible season 2 episodes 7 and 8.
I
Ah,
I don't know what the fuck feeling that is. He is saying it with close to a feeling.
when you're
had
gonna do
peaks and
something,
valleys of like a lot of different tones, a lot like the 2 episodes of Invincible we just watched.
Exactly there, Max.
if you're gonna do something, you
I
gotta
don't know
do
if
it
that's saying it with feeling or saying it with a disorder.
gotta do it with
I'll let you
manly
interpret.
gusto.
I'll let you interpret however you want, Slow.
What are you doing? Like, are you a transatlantic like
The
hooker?
transatlantic trade. We're past this, Wyatt.
He sounds like what would be like a carnival barker.
No,
Almost
he
as if
said-
like he was at like Comic-Con, which is where the beginning of
Exactly.
this episode starts.
I was gonna say more used car salesman in the 1950s.
Which they sell
Would you like
cars.
to buy this
near,
car?
they
It has
sell
one
cars
wheel.
near Comic-Con, which is where this episode begins.
Yes.
How dare you keep
Yes, it
trying to
begins-
put this on track?
Well, because nigga went out the room, motherfuckers can't even talk for 2 seconds. I'm sorry. I'm worried about y'all now.
Yes.
I'm
I mean,
legit concerned. So, in case you guys didn't know, I had to step out to make a plate real quick, and I said, "Yeah, just handle the intro." I came back 2 minutes later. It is dead quiet. What the fuck?
That's because, to be fair, we completely forgot how the episode
They forgot
started.
how fucking the episodes goes.
'Cause
Making me
it-
worried
well-
about this review. Which, speaking of which, let's review
Let's-
the last 2 episodes of season 2 of Invincible.
The
So,
episode starts out at Comic Con.
Okay, you can
anyway,
stop with the voice.
general
Okay.
thoughts on how it felt to end this season.
We're
Overall,
Yeah.
holy
yeah,
shit.
season
Yeah.
2 is very much an improvement, and I'm enjoying the direction that they're going in.
An improvement. How so?
Improvement over season 1.
Yeah. How?
Also,
Yeah, how so?
So in the case of animation, we discussed this previously, how there were quite a few animation errors that they even poked fun at in episode 7, along with just poking at fun in just the season in general.
we get a really good general, like, making fun of ourselves kind of episode.
Yeah.
in
Comic-Con
terms of the overall quality of the story, season 1 was a very good starting off point, and the season 2 is better for being a really good payoff for a lot of what just happened in season as well.
As well as
the
some
conclusion
added
of the
setup for
Angstrom
future stuff.
Levy story said it.
Go ahead, sir.
I was gonna say that's kind of interesting because of the way this season is. It's very much a setup season in a way that season 1 didn't need to be. Season 1 was able to have a very clear build up, very conclusive end, whereas this season is kind of like the bridge between the end of everybody getting their lives fucked up in season 1 and where it is all going to go. So to say that this season is better at concluding things is interesting.
Well,
Because it set up Angstrom Levy and set up or paid off Angstrom Levy within the same season.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
So
that's
a
that's the
conclusive
point I was
storyline.
making. Is
But for
that
everybody else, it's a sort of a bridging season in terms of their arc, and
especially
even
with,
the development of all their relationships.
especially with the biggest criticism I have of this season.
what is the biggest
But,
criticism you have of this season?
We'll get there, but
Yeah.
it is potentially I believe kind of drops the whole season quality wise, but we'll get there when I get there. But you still think it's better than season 1, but once again, what you said is kind of untrue because your first example was Angstrom Levy, and like Slur said, Angstrom Levy was
Yeah, that's what.
established in
No, I was saying, it did really good of ending its own story, one of its own stories within the season. I really that was the story of all of season 2 I was paying attention to the most, because the season started with him, and partially ended with him as well. He was part of the final episode, but there's a lot more that was also happening in that final
Well,
episode.
he plays a big role, no, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Everything in that whole scene is horrific and horrible. The way he handles Debbie and Oliver.
Yes.
Okay,
that's
so you think that season two's an improvement overall because of that? Is there anything else?
I do just overall like a lot more of the animation quality. I don't want to say season one felt stiff, but like there was something that this newer season did just feel more fluid with a lot more of people's actions.
Well,
Maybe
probably had a higher budget because of season one did so well, so they had a little bit more money to play around with.
yeah.
Can you point to any examples?
Uh, a lot of the fight scenes with season two as opposed to season one. I would need to have them actually like in front of me, which is since we're just playing right now, I can't really do.
Okay. You said it with gumption, so I was just curious if like you had an example
Mm.
that you had ready. Yeah.
But
The example was thinking was the warehouse fight before we got introduced before they made into the office and with Battle Beast and stuff. The fight before that where they're in the warehouse, the animation in that felt very stiff.
Hang on.
But then
are you
again,
saying that? Are you
then
saying that as against season two when you just said the animation felt better?
no, I'm saying no. The animation in season two felt better than that warehouse fight. Is what I'm saying. Because we had a lot more instances of fluidity.
Okay, so the confusion is because I was asking you why you thought it was better in season one.
like this is
Because
like
that's what I'm saying. When we talked about that, you said that you felt good. One of the reasons you felt
I think
season two was better
the
than season one is
animation-
because the animation was better.
yes,
but-
the animation in season two is better than the animation in season one. I would need to almost do like a full on technical breakdown, like in comparison between actual frames. It
Well,
feels
I
like
mean,
there was actually a lot more. Like I'm talking about like on a technical aspect. Like that's.
But the
what-
thing is, when I ask you for an example for a technical aspect,
because I don't want to bog you down with a lot of the more technical stuff, like and breaking down each individual frame as this is going. And I think, if I remember correctly, with animation, it is going at the normal 24 frames per second. And am I correct on that, or does animation No, it doesn't normally go to the 60. That's how we get the.
Well, I mean,
those
you're the one
weird
who brought it up.
animation
I hope you're
fuck-ups.
correct about it. Like you said it. I was just asking for like basic examples, but
Yes,
I mean, if you can't really point to anything, then like honestly, it feels like the animations is just as good as the first season. Well, season one had issues here and there, but like I feel like it's pretty solid regardless of like the story and all that shit. Just going on a pure animated thing, I wouldn't put either of these seasons. Here's the thing: I like it. I wouldn't put it up there as some of the best animation, though. That's the weird thing. That's the weird caveat I have about it.
Mm-hmm.
I really like it, but it's not the best. But thankfully, the story doesn't really need that. It's more about the actual character development like that, which I feel the character development in this is a lot stronger than it was in the first season.
Oh, definitely.
See, that's what I would point to before the animation. Like we get character interactions, we get a lot more meat between Debbie and Mark. They have like a general tension between each other. Well, not tension between each other, but there is tension there because of everything they dealt with in season one.
Oh,
Like,
right.
It's different dynamics and like how Debbie feels like she's failing as a parent, but in reality, she also went through something traumatic. And as
You
a
also.
character- go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, it's like for that relationship specifically, when you have that tension in this season, you're taking the very strong and loving relationship they have in season one, and now you're seeing what happens when that relationship, which was very, very good, was put under some serious fucking stress. And so now
Yeah.
they're both human. Maybe they're not dealing with things perfectly. So
Yeah, and
do
not
kinda
to
get that.
mention, as it finally comes to a head with that conversation of Mark wanting to quit school. Like, yeah, how it's like they started the season like, yeah, I'm fine, and then him saying, like, no, I'm not fine. I need to do better. I need to be better.
Yeah, it comes towards the end of the season though, where he has to basically wrap up and step up for what he is because of everything that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Which, unfortunately, one of the bigger things about episode 7 is Mark and Amber's relationship, and it seems like everything, as bullshit and horrible as it is It seemed like they were starting to figure shit out.
Yeah, the proper balance, and they're going to the Comic-Con. And
Oh yeah,
like,
and as
But even then, something that Mark wanted to do, he had to leave because of his responsibilities.
yes.
yeah, and then later he originally is like, all right, now after like helping out Rex, and we see his new power up with his Spider-Man gun.
Right. Well, I was gonna
he's-
say though, like we actually get a lot. Well, let's talk about relationships in between characters. Like Rex showing up as like a good friend for Mark, which I'm like pretty sure they barely interacted in season 1.
They did not
Yeah.
interact that much.
They started off pretty
They-
rocky because
they started off rocky
is not
and-
good at first impressions.
Yeah, and Rex is also a dick, and like
Yeah.
most of the most of like the interactions was like fucking Rex doing something behind Mark's back. You know what I mean?
And
Like,
being a dick.
And being a dick at the same time, yeah. But here, like both characters have been through so much fucking bullshit, and like literally both of them almost died, and they like we get this beautiful connection between them, and I think it's a really awesome looking friendship, and you know, I hope good stuff comes from that in the next season, which
Yeah.
you know, we'll see. So yeah, and then Mark once again, and that's the thing, because Rex, because Mark saved his life, Rex is like, no, dude, I got you. Go be with your girl.
Yeah, and then
And
we
Mark
get
is with
the-
his girl. And
Hold on,
they're having a
we
good
get
time.
we get told that also that
Oh, yeah.
that he is now getting 2 nights off essentially. As he told Cecil like he needs me. He doesn't really he can't really say no to it. He can deal
And
with
Cecil
it.
needs him
Yeah.
Cecil needs him because fucking
Everybody's resigning.
Immortal is done.
Yeah, Immortal's just the
His
fuck
head's
out.
really fucked up.
Yeah.
He's still not taking Duplicate's death quite well.
Yeah.
But it's not just her death. I think it's the combo of everything. He's like, I was already broken. She just did me in.
Yeah,
Mhm.
which
Yeah.
is a horrible line. Like, oh my
Yeah.
god, I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, Abe. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
He's
I
being
mean,
he's being really honest about that. That's his
Yeah.
one of his defining traits.
And unfortunately, Cecil can't have that because, dude, you're literally Superman. You're the second strongest person on this fucking planet. You can't retire right now.
That's
wouldn't
why.
Mark
That's
be
why.
Superman?
That's why Cecil just like no, you're going on that vacation we discussed, and
Mm-hmm.
he decides that he's gonna go home.
Yeah.
And thus then we cut back to Amber and Mark State, and we get introduced to
Alex Kirkman.
well that was at Comic-Con. We were talking about their date after that, but yeah
Oh, I was
to
gonna
talk go back to Comic-Con. Yes, we had the little joke with Alex Kirkman talking about the like how animation essentially works,
Yeah,
and little inside jokes.
it's probably my
amongst the
favorite
crew.
scene in the whole like season. It's
And-
so like funny and like meta shit like that. We're talking about like animation shit like that. And
And
like
when
honestly, animation's fucking difficult. Like
when
it's
I
flat
have
out, really fucking hard to do. And
actually, you know what? Since I'm not, let me reset my stuff, and I'll pull up the some of the points that they were making, like how some
yeah,
people.
I got them. Like sometimes when we show people's mouth not moving, and the way that intro starts is we see his head down,
Yeah,
and then we don't really see him. I'm pretty sure we don't even see his mouth flap at all during that conversation. But there is one moment where like they talk about how the animators get a little crazy and put their own style in it, and sometimes it looks like a completely different show.
yeah.
But yeah, like how they have like from behind the head shots, or how somebody will cover their mouth while they're talking, and as he fucking says that, Mark is covering his mouth, going, "Huh, I never thought about it that way." Not moving a
interesting.
single frame. Like,
Yeah,
like that's the thing. He does not move. He just has his hand over his mouth.
It is a rare example of meta humor that is 0% cringe and is just like fun.
Yeah.
One of
So-
our biggest laughs from season 1 was like when Mark and Amber were kissing each other, and they just basically moved down as a frame.
Yeah.
There's literally a moment of that where he's talking about, and sometimes we do such stylized things that we can kind of just get away with a little bit of animations, where his hand over the comic literally does that.
No,
It
yeah.
literally does the
So
fucking
I'm
thing.
showing. So I'm showing it to the audience right now. Yeah, as it shows. First, he's talking. His hat is over his face, so all we see is the
Like what I
beard
just said.
moving up and down. then the overly detailed, where it just shows Mark's face drawn in such fucking detail that it looks, as he said, it looks like an entirely different show.
Yeah.
And like I said, I really love the wrap up of the whole thing where he goes, "Oh, I'll pay attention next time I watch season 2." I was like, "Ha ha ha ha!"
And then the first thing we pointed out was how many of the NPCs just showed up in different frames.
Yeah, it was.
They were making fun of themselves and they were having fun in the moment. I thought it was really cute.
Yeah, that was really good. But, oh yeah, the comic.
Yeah, it wasn't one of those
face,
things where it's like where they do something retarded and they go, "Well, that's retarded, ha ha ha."
Yeah. Like it's like, yeah, we're just pointing out, like, yeah, animation sucks. Animation's hard. It's
animation's really hard. Why do you think they
Yeah, a lot
keep
of people
giving
don't.
it to Koreans?
A lot of people don't really understand like how much goes into it. But yeah, cut back to Amber and Mark's date, and they seem to be eating at a dinner table, and everything seems fine, right, guys?
Oh yeah,
yeah,
I'm sure.
Fine. And
Everything's
then,
great. Yeah, nothing.
then
And
sure-
then the season,
I sure
and then the
heard of-
season ends. Nothing bad happens.
And then
Da,
she
da,
shows
da,
up. Then she shows up. Who is she, guys?
Her
So-
name is Anissa, and she seems like a very fine soldier of the Viltrumite Empire.
I mean, to be fair, I'm pretty sure we saw her with the 3 Viltrumites that beat that nearly killed Alan.
No.
Hey,
No,
No.
that was the lady with the ponytail knife.
yeah,
Yep.
that was ponytail, black dude, and goggles.
Yeah.
You know that one Viltrumite that looks like the character who's gonna die?
And all 3 of them horribly die, so she definitely wasn't part of that group.
Exactly.
Oh, but
You
how
know
could
what,
she
and
be?
the thing
How could
is,
she be
I'm
a Viltrumite? She doesn't have a mustache.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then I'm sure, I'm positive that like the only terrible thing she'll do to Mark is just beat the shit out of him like she did in this episode. That's
Well,
the only bad thing she'll ever do.
Don't jump the gun, because here's the thing. She is 1,000,000% reasonable. For a
definitely.
very long time. Like,
Yeah,
we need to point
she's
this out.
Nice.
Is that everybody is on edge, everybody's shitting their pants, especially Amber, who like literally had a like god grab her neck like when she wasn't expecting it. Like
Yeah.
she is insanely chill for the situation they're in. She just wants to talk, and that's what they do. She brings up a lot of really horrible and true points about how even though Mark is doing his best to save his planet, the planet is dying and everyone's life's shit. Where if they join the Viltrumite Empire, it'd be better.
Yeah.
One thing I really don't like is we don't see what Viltrum occupation looks like in the series.
Outside of the multiverse stuff, and like whenever we're
Well,
shown
remember
that,
the multiverse stuff is them dealing with an uprising. They're not dealing with the actual occupation. There's
Yeah.
difference.
yeah, that's fair. It just shows that like under their rule, at least until the rest of the Empire gets there, their rule
Yeah.
is hell.
Well, no, they're
And
not.
it shows
ruling.
what Viltrumite
They're not-
conquest looks like, not what
Yes,
Viltrumite rule.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're not ruling yet. They're conquesting, and we see plenty of examples of that when we see in season 1 where we see the flashback of Nolan talking about it, and we actually see the death of the Unopans in season 1, but we don't actually see what it looks like for the Viltrum Empire. And to play devil's advocate, like she brings up a lot of good points, and we don't have any real negative things as an audience to go against.
Other than
Yeah.
the only thing we have up against is mainly our main character's experience with Viltrum, and that's they kind of just
No, we don't.
they
Once
kill-
again,
Yeah.
that is all the stuff that's being prepped. We don't
All we
see what an
have
occupation
is
looks like.
We may be retards who are destroying our own living space, but at least we're free retards.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
that's-
basically what we got.
yeah, that's right. Their conquest in
What a story, Mark.
Yeah.
The way they conquer planets is very bloody for the most part.
Yeah.
From
Well-
what we've seen with
We only see that of people fighting back.
Yes.
That's my point. We don't see what it looks like when it's peaceful. So that's what I'm trying to say of the whole show. the only example we see is Anissa being 1,000,000% reasonable.
Yeah,
Very reasonable.
I would honestly say
Hell,
she's the most
She
reasonable.
saves lives in this episode.
Yeah, she does. She just
No,
quickly
yeah,
kills the
that's
kaiju.
why. No, yeah, that's like Anissa might genuinely be the most reasonable Viltrumite we've seen so far, because the Viltrumites other than her that we have seen, even when they're being quote unquote reasonable, just kill lots of people just because they exist. Like Thraxum is.
Yeah, they also don't really try to convince people of things. They
Yeah.
just kind of say what it is, and if you annoy them, they're like, "All right, well, fuck you then."
Well, hang on. Don't slide by that. What you said about the Thraxons, they showed up looking for Nolan.
Yeah.
The Thraxons, because they love their emperor, probably didn't give him that information.
Oh yeah.
No.
And we see what happens when they're not given the information they need.
Mhm.
Like I said, there is a point where like we get diplomacy before violence.
Mhm.
Even in season 1 with Omni-Man trying to explain stuff to Mark, like there is diplomacy. Like he doesn't immediately throw him in front of a subway. There is a bit of back and forth before that.
Diplomacy when it comes to other Viltrumites. When it comes to, like, remember, like, without a second thought, once Mark had his powers, he killed all the Guardians.
Well, no, he had to reticently go back to his job, that's why he said he hoped Mark never got his powers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He says that in season 1. So, yes, and I can't state it enough. She saved that cruise ship. Mark was not going to save that cruise ship. That is flat out, blatantly said in the show. If she wasn't there, that cruise ship would have died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she does it in particularly spectacular fashion of just blowing through the fucking monster's head.
And she did it probably to like in a way to kind of go, fuck, I'll play along. Maybe if I do this, it'll be more reasonable.
Well, no, not that.
Yeah, it was always part of like convincing. It was like, there, you see how easy these people's problems could be solved if there are Viltrumites.
If there are multiple Viltrumites here, look at that. They're done. Problem's over. And yeah, she even helps push the fucking cruise ship back to an island. Mm-hmm. And yeah, once the diplomacy has failed,
we get another reminder just how like kind of just how not ready for fights against Viltrumites Mark really is.
Well, not even. Here's the really fucking important thing: not just Mark, Earth.
Yeah,
because
it cuts back to
Cecil has everything on the fly, ready to go. And they're not even sure if they can get there in time to save Mark. And, yeah, all of our arsenal against a single Viltrumite, and we're completely useless. It's a really fucking powerful
thing. Yeah, what does he say? Just like he's staring at like one of the monitors that has her on it. He's like, just one Viltrumite all the way out here on her lonesome, and we're fucking useless.
Yeah.
It's really fucking...
Yeah, and they've gotten back in touch with who's the guy that had the reanimator people?
Oh yeah,
Dr. Sinclair.
Yeah, Dr. Sinclair.
They get in touch with him, and he's like, "Yeah, I've got nothing."
Yeah, how many of you guys are ready for the field? And he's just like,
none.
The field? What do you mean, none? We had a schedule.
We have a schedule. And the second he's like, "I don't want to talk to you anymore," just doesn't even say anything. Just fucking closes the fucking video.
He just hung up on a mid-sentence.
Yeah. I don't even like being in the same room with you. Looking at you makes me feel sick. Yeah, no, like it's like we don't stand a chance. And if like she wanted to go full Omni-Man, she could have. And I feel like her beatdown was really chill.
Yeah,
she does beat the living fuck out of him, but like
that was light work.
It could have been way worse.
Oh yeah, she could have very easily had killed Mark if like, which is why he gambled, because Cecil just straight up said no, just surrender, and he's just like no.
Tell her, just copulate.
I don't think Mark was gambling. I think he was like Mark sincerely just defiant.
No, Mark was gambling with the whole like if you truly didn't need me, you would have killed me already. Yeah. He was like by that point that was a gamble.
Yeah, that was a gamble. I agree with that. Yeah. And I really love that he's like, dude, just fucking say we surrender, just do it. And he says no. And, like, I love... Okay, so I meant to bring this up in the last 2 fucking episodes, but the voice acting in this fucking show is phenomenal. Like,
true.
Especially with the last episode with everything with Mark.
Stephen Young's bringing his
Oh, he's
I
bringing his
think
fucking A
that's-
game.
I
Like
think that's
one of the
voice
one of
actor
the
for
biggest
Mark.
meme fucking things from the show that hasn't even been like shown yet. Like it, I feel like that whole scene is like so horrifically done, and you completely forget about the meme. But
Yeah.
yeah, the way Cecil says "kid," like you could tell he's like happy and proud at the same time. He's like, dude, you are going to fucking die.
Yeah.
You are going to die. Like I don't know what to fucking tell you. And you get that in just a single word. Yeah, Walter Goggins, we said it before, like fantastic actor.
Yep.
And yeah, the beatdown continues, and like what Wyatt said, he did take a gamble, and
Because
yeah,
Anissa could have snapped his fucking neck.
yeah, and well, they said that her muscle density was just as like crazy as Omni Man's. So
Yeah.
like yeah,
even
like everything
no,
that
even
Omni
more
Man did.
powerful.
Yeah, they say more powerful. I don't know if that's capping or
No,
not.
she says.
But
Well, no,
They
they
say
said that she was
faster.
about as powerful but faster.
yeah,
Yes.
and
we
then
saw
they
what happened when Omni Man was disciplining Mark. So
And we then were told that on his own, Mark had like an 18% chance of survival.
yeah,
Which was
Yeah.
the same percentage chance survival that she gave the population of Earth
yeah.
to survive the next couple centuries on its
God-
own.
God damn it,
Yeah.
Wyatt. Damn it, Slur. Good job. I love you. I was gonna say that.
Yeah, and
Stole
like
it from
when
the fucking mouth.
they hear that in the control room, Cecil's just like, "Huh, poetic,"
Mhm.
and he just like moves on with it. It's like, because yeah, damn, look at that.
Yeah. You can, you and everyone in your ear is welcome.
Because obviously she can fucking hear it.
Obviously.
Well, yeah, because
Well, I don't know if it's obvious. Okay.
Another-
We'll have to put a pin in that one because I don't want to say anything yet
another
about that.
point towards Cecil, and again in comparison to his peers in other franchises. What was it Nick Fury said? Not only are we alone, we are hilariously outgunned.
Yes.
I just get that feeling every time it shows Cecil like, what can we do against this? Pretty much nothing.
Yeah, well, see, like Nick Fury's thing was like, oh, well, we just got to get these guys in the team. Cecil has the team. He still can't do anything.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Like,
Hilariously outgunned, and people are leaving.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're
And yeah.
hilariously outgunned, and my gun keeps trying to resign.
My gun keeps ejecting the clip. Why? Why do you keep doing this? Please stop. I need you, bullets.
He's sad that his holster died.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That his
so-
holster died.
Anyway, so Anissa leaves him with a very horrible warning that she was trying to be diplomatic and he needs to get this planet in the thing because if this other agent comes and he's they're still resistant, he's not going to have a great time with them. And oh boy,
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be fun to see how Viltrumites handle their conquest, right?
Well,
yeah.
the good news is that they don't kill for pleasure. The bad news is that they do take pleasure in killing.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, and they're very good at it. They're
Oh,
very good
and-
at it.
No, and just showing how much like with Anissa's power level, essentially showing just how easily she just kicks the shit out of Mark. That beatdown was in total, I think, less than 10 seconds.
It's really quick. That's the crazy part about it.
Yeah.
Like she's genuine, like Viltrumites already can move really fast. She's moving at damn near Superman speed.
well, I kind of pointed this out when
go that
Mark
far.
was on Bug World, where you see the power differential between him and his dad just in how they take off from standing position. And in this, before she even fights him, when she goes through the kaiju's head, she stops herself midair with enough force that all of the blood
Blood
Yeah.
just flies
blasts
off of her.
her. It's so
Mark
cool.
cannot stop himself that steadily, that quickly.
Mhm.
In
Yeah.
fact,
Like, he doesn't have that, like, just raw force that he can exert, like flexing a muscle.
Mhm.
And that's what he needs.
Yep.
The problem is, a big part of how they get there is a lot of fucking practice in deadly combat without holding back.
And
Yeah, and that's-
and a little bit of time bullshit, but we'll get there. But anyway, she leaves, and
But
once again,
we already know that from season 1 that that apparently I believe it was said by Nolan that a Viltrumite's power is also linked to their age.
well, I wasn't talking about like the mechanics of it. I was talking about how it's handled in the show. But
Oh,
we'll
okay.
talk about that. So yeah, she leaves, and like with the warning about another guy coming who's going to wreck his shit if he's not chill. And yeah, we get the follow up to that thing I talked about where Cecil was like telling, like he just walks in, he goes, "You got your ass kicked just for words," and Mark says, "It's not just words," and Cecil gives a smile. Like I love that
And
fucking scene.
that smile felt the most genuine and the most heartwarming he's been because the next thing he does is offer Mark a hand up.
Mhm.
Something that, while I think he might have done at the beginning of the season, was also still so cautious that
I don't know if
Well,
he
it
would
was
have.
so it's more just like when you get to something like that, you see. And this is kind of like my whole thing about this season in general, why I like all the character stuff so much. It's when you see someone being fully fucking tested. Mark can say he's not his dad, and you can believe that he means it. But when a Viltrumite has their foot on his neck and he's still refusing to surrender, and he's still declaring for humanity, like to the fucking tooth and nail of it, yeah, that speaks to Cecil. Like he sees that shit.
he's gone through another ringer and he knows what side he's fighting for.
Yeah, he knows that even if Mark is pushed and pushed and pushed, he's
He's just
fucking
not gonna
died
give
in the
up.
wall fighting for humanity, and that's that.
Mhm.
So yeah, I I still think Cecil is always going to have that side of himself that never trusts fully,
Oh,
always
of
has to
course.
have like that kind of
Conti-
fucking,
He has to have a contingency plan.
or at least he has to try to have contingency plans.
He has to save
But
Wendy.
He's like Batman.
Because let's face it, like with the Atlantis episode, when they took the data from that creature's whale, they're doing something with it.
Well, yeah, because it was established in season
because-
one.
Yeah,
In
he
season
is
one, they said that like everything they throw in that Viltrumite blood, nothing fucks with it.
Yeah,
They're trying to find weaknesses for Viltrumites.
and then like just because of just because of who Cecil is, he saw this guy who created fucking basically Mechanicus drones and basically offered him a goddamn job.
Yeah,
If
and
it,
guess what? The drones are pretty fucking effective.
yeah,
yeah,
give-
we've
they
gone from
give- they-
Operation Paperclip to Operation Stapler.
I don't like that comparison, but fuck, it's so good.
I mean, like,
yes.
Also, fun little fact that I want to point out is that Amazon. I really like Amazon's video player because they have like these little X-ray things that sometimes give you little snippets and about scenes, and they'll always give you who's like on screen or in the scenes actor thing. Fun fact about when fucking D and whatever the fuck Claire Cunthead, because we all know who voices him. He's not there.
Oh, so
Ezra Miller is not shown in the fucking Amazon thing. So
Interesting.
as much as I hate Ezra Miller, I really appreciate that they showed that they're not showing him off. It's really nice.
good.
Fuck Ezra Miller.
The player is all right. However, like I have my own little gripes with it on a technical side, such as the fact I can't minimize the X-ray.
Well, no, I don't. Like I
thing.
said, all that shit. I'm talking about just this feature for this show, right?
Yeah,
Here, is they're not showing off a literal monster, ironically playing a monster
who should
but,
be in fucking jail by now, but he's still not.
Yep. Before we
Listen,
get
he's
to the
non-binary, that would be discriminatory.
forgot to mention a couple of things though that are really important. One, Monster Girl and Robot. She is in a VR headset trying to use a monster robot suit. Monster robot. Monster
Yeah.
mech.
She's trying to like learn to fight in VR.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So she could train without transforming because she has a problem, which How many times do you like people telling you that you have a problem?
I
I
love
mean, if
it when
it's
people.
Don't
I
you
mean,
love
Or
that?
saying,
Don't you just
"Let
love
me
that? It's like
fix you."
you are broken, Lamau. It's like shut up, motherfucker.
mean,
Stop,
if it-
stop
I mean,
bringing
if-
it up.
I mean, if
Why
it's
does it have to
true,
come up in
it's-
all of our conversations?
well, if it's true, it's got to actually be fixed, though.
Yeah, but you don't want to just fucking haha. You're fat, Lamau. You fat. No, shut up.
Let
Talk
me
about
fix
something.
you. Why won't you let me fix you? It's a problem. I fix
Yeah.
problems.
I'm problem. You're a
Uh-huh.
problem, Lamau. Haha. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to fucking hear that.
Maybe
Every
not-
fucking time. Every
maybe not
fucking
normal
conversation.
people.
Every fucking conversation. Nobody wants to hear that every single time they talk to someone, especially
Exactly.
someone they want to talk to.
Mhm.
Like imagine if like your fucking girlfriend every time you came by, she just goes, "Haha, you're broke, Lamau." Every time she talks to you, you're broke. You're always gonna be broke. It's like, oh, okay. Can we talk about any fucking thing else?
Yeah.
Anytime we're
You go
together.
to her place and she's like, "Okay, so we're gonna do some like sit-ups to like lose that fat or what?"
Yeah, like you know what I mean. Like you don't want to hear that every fucking conversation, and
Yeah.
that's what comes up later. Which I
Like,
guess we can
ha-
just, I guess we
haha,
could just
your
get
dad
into
never
because
loved you.
Yeah,
I guess we could just
we've been
I
out
could-
of order this whole
we've been
time.
out of
We may
order,
as
and like
well
honestly, because a lot
fucking-
of the shit that happens in the next episode, there's gonna be a lot to talk about there. Let's just bring up what happens there with Robot and Monster Girl. She says basically everything I just said. She says that every single conversation doesn't have to be about fixing her, and she appreciates everything that he does. But can we just talk about other things? And
Yeah.
Robot or fucking Rudy admits, is like, yeah, I'm kind of shit at this. I'm sorry. Like I'm up with it's the fucking phrase.
Please
as
be
we-
patient. I have
patient.
autism.
yeah, as we said, that hat's gonna be practically welded to his suit.
Basically.
Yeah.
It's
he is
sewed into
never
his
escaping the
scalp.
allegations.
It's been absorbed into his DNA. Like if the Yautja are introduced in Invincible, they're going to.
They're all
be
gonna
the
target Robot.
They're gonna target Robot. It's like
They're
he
gonna
is
their
the
heads are gonna
ultimate life form.
their heads are gonna explode because like there's no way we can stop him. He's too powerful.
Exactly.
It's not
No,
he's too
no,
strong.
they'll just be like, "Oh my god, this is it. This is the final autism. We just need
Yeah.
him, and we'll be complete as a species."
We'll be able to take over the planet.
Yeah.
Well,
And, yeah,
that's
and
while they're
it's-
waiting for global warming.
So anyway, yeah, the Viltrumites are gonna fix. So I really appreciate how it comes to a head because it shows that Monster Girl does actually care about Rudy. She really appreciates him, but he just needs to work on it a little bit better.
And
Or
and
like if he ever did manage to come up with a solution to the curse, she would love to hear about it. But for fuck's sake, talk to her about it like a person, not like a gadget or a computer.
Yeah,
Well,
like,
that's
Yeah,
why-
and then,
you,
and-
are, you are
and
broken.
we
Lamau.
do also see like an outside perspective of that with Bulletproof because he's like a girl who doesn't realize she's
He ju-
pushing her powers to the point she'll be eating strange carrots not far from now.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I really appreciate fucking his dress down of every fucking buddy in the team. It's fucking
Well,
great.
it's because like yeah, like
He's
see,
totally right. He's totally right about every fucking buddy. It's
Oh yeah,
crazy.
because like in all reality,
First of all,
like
you're
somebody
bald.
and Samson's whole thing was the hair. I had
It was
hair
the
when I made the name. Like,
I mean, it's not even that his dress down is like inaccurate or anything, because it's
no,
absolutely
it's
fucking
very accurate.
not. But he's talking a lot of shit for someone who hasn't contributed dick yet.
I mean, to be fair, yeah, I like. What was the last time we see Bulletproof actually do?
During the entire fucking invasion of the body snatchers, like he's bodying fucking squid boys. Like he's also one
Wait,
of the
wasn't
strongest
that
strongest
mission fucked
started-
up and
it's-
turned into that fight
because it did start because of him, but he did put in work. That's what I'm saying.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess.
But once again, he's the second strongest member. Well, now first, weirdly, because you know, Mortal's gone.
Oh yeah, and when when Immortal says he's going home, Rudy walks in holding a part of himself. And it's like, how would you like your job back?
No, he didn't say how would you. Like
Oh
your
no,
job?
yeah, and it's like, yeah,
It
your
says your
position
job is your position is available, meaning you have to take this fucking job. Please take this job. I don't have anybody else. My best friend's leaving too, which goes succinctly into that point. The other big thing, and I really love this arc that Donald has. Donald learns the truth about all of his deaths and everything, and he's died a lot. Like, there's a
39
part-
times that he
Yeah,
that he at least knows.
Yeah, that he at least knows of. And like, yeah, Cecil finally breaks it to him. He's like, "You didn't die just one time," and he basically shows him a folder. By the way, password protected by not the password you think you broke. Like, I love that little line. He's like,
Well,
"Nah,
Oh yeah,
dog, you ain't shit."
full access, not using that fucking password of mine that you think you know.
It's so
and
fucking
then
good.
and then as he brought up, it's like you don't get to make that decision. It's like I didn't.
It didn't.
It's just, this is like what Cecil's going through. It's like, yeah, my number 2 guy, he wants to resign because he told me to erase his memories and then he forgot. God
Damn.
fucking damn it.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
damn it all. Can I
Yeah.
have one functioning thing here?
And I don't even know if it's 30. He says 35.
He
Dog,
says
39.
39.
39.
There's a lot of those fucking play buttons. like,
Yeah.
I was stressed that he scrolls and it's still full of files.
Yeah, he said 39 that he knows of.
Yeah.
Like, meaning there's a good
There's a
chance.
chance that he's died
Well, a
multiple
lot
times.
of those might not have been deaths. They might have been like horrific maimings that they were able to reconstruct him while he was still alive.
Well, I mean,
That does not make it better.
Well, I was gonna say the implication is that like they were all like manglings, and like apparently this one was
Yeah.
one of the.
Yeah,
They
it's
were
was like
all
this-
instances where the Donald was taken out of commission.
he said, like, yeah,
The
by this
Donald.
point, he said he's 98% machine now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he
Which
loses a bit more of
is-
himself each time.
So in here, okay, so he says that to somebody really important, but he decides that he wants to erase his memory again so he can be a good soldier because obviously dying that many times and shit like that, seeing that you're not even human anymore is really fucked up. So before he can do that, however, he gets a phone call from William. I almost forgot his fucking name. He gets a call from William and
Rick ain't doing
man,
so well.
what's his name?
Rick.
Rick. Yes, Rick.
Red flag.
Rick is not he's not coping well. He's got a lot of fucking issues.
Yeah,
and
he's
a
borderline.
lot of trauma.
Yeah, like he says they're not dreams. He's borderline remembering exactly what Dr. Sinclair did to him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it literally pushes him to the edge where he stands on the edge of the roof. But he is clearly suicidal. But the worst part is he doesn't even know if he can kill himself.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
said like this should hopefully be
one of-
high enough.
Is this high enough? Is anything high enough anymore? And it's like, dude, like fuck, man. that
Yeah.
that was
Dude is
that was
going
rough.
through it.
And
that
yeah,
whole scene is one of my favorites because what you've got is like a couple of side characters having one of the most meaningful conversations in the whole fucking season.
1,000,000%. Yeah, and I really appreciate it, like, because yeah, anyone in Rick's position, like, I feel like it's completely understandable that he is the way he is right now, and there's not really a whole lot anyone else in the world could tell him to get through that, except for Donald, and because Donald's gone through it, it's genuinely beautiful moment, and like, I'm like 99% sure, like I said, it's been a minute since I read the comics, but I don't remember Donald being in any of the fucking comics post.
I
fucking
don't remember
everything.
him either.
Oh no,
Yeah.
this scene definitely happened in the comics.
It did.
Oh yeah,
Can you pull up a reference?
but I mean, not without like trying to find the comic online somewhere.
Okay. Well, we'll look into that. But once again,
But, I mean, yeah, but no, I
it doesn't-
remember
it
like
doesn't-
looking forward to this scene specifically,
okay. But yeah, this seems great.
which I could only do if I read it before.
That's true. But yeah, it was great. It was really well done scene. And once again, I'm gonna because I haven't been saying for the last 2 episodes, the fucking voice acting is beautiful.
It's amazing.
Everybody's
Yeah.
like, everybody feels like they're done. They're
Oh,
tired,
yeah.
they're exhausted.
Including, as we forgot, after all of that stuff at the restaurant and then the fight with Anissa, Amber's
I was
not
gonna-
doing good either.
I was coming back to it because that is a big part of this episode. But yeah, I like Donald and Rick's interaction, and Donald talks him down from the cliff's edge, and I feel like because it's not mentioned at all, I'd be curious how they do it in season 2 or season 3. But I'd be really curious to know if Donald, through that conversation, decides not to erase his memories.
Yeah.
It'd be really interesting. That's something potentially set up for season 2. But yeah, this is what I was hinting at when I said that, man, they really make you feel for Amber's plight, because oh boy, Amber has always been this strong, like, I hate to use this like because it's ruined, but she's a strong, independent woman who is very like people focused. She helps everyone she can. She does everything she can. We've really never seen her in a position of vulnerability. She's always like high and mighty. This is the first time we see her generally completely shook. Like
Yep.
she,
Yeah,
her
this-
voice is breaking. She's crying out of nowhere. She is like snapped as a character.
Oh
And
yeah, this
it's not
broke
just
her.
the Anissa. Yeah, it's once again just like with fucking Immortal. It's not just the Anissa thing. This has been built up the entire fucking series.
Yeah, Anissa was just the final straw that broke the camel's back.
Exactly, because this is the first time her life has actually been in danger in this situation.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
brilliantly done.
Oh, excuse me.
And yeah, like I said, I feel really bad for her.
Riven
And
chart.
she admits that she doesn't have. She feels like she doesn't have any agency. She literally can't do anything for Mark, and
Yeah.
her whole life has to now revolve around Mark to the point that even like in this situation, she is completely useless.
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's heartbreaking.
All the while.
And speaking of breaking, this is where it finally happens.
They
Yeah.
break up.
Remember the last recording we did, that conversation in the restaurant they had where it's like you can tell they both really do love and respect each other and want to be together. And this is where you see them like, no matter how hard we try, there are fundamental facts of what our lives are that make it so that one or both of us is going to suffer for this in a way that we don't want that for each other and we don't want that for ourselves. And so
Yeah.
they're just like tearful apology, but this relationship just can't work.
No, it can't.
And yeah, dialogue, voice acting once again,
Which is
like, it's really handled
which
really
is
well.
oddly relatable actually, because there's just sometimes where it just doesn't work.
Yeah, not,
I mean,
not because of.
I
like,
wouldn't even say it's
anything
oddly
dramatic.
relatable. I think it's just relatable. I think that's actually a very common thing. A dramatic, everybody throwing their toys out the pram style messy breakup is not the norm past the age of like 17, 18 for most people.
Mhm.
Until you get to divorce, which is a whole different
I
fucking
was
beast,
going
but
to
I'm
say
gonna don't touch it.
Yeah,
Yeah, divorce is a whole other fucking thing.
but basically, to these people's worlds, they're starting
Especially-
to realize that like they have to start making decisions that are going to be affecting for the rest of their life, and
Unfortunately,
unfortunately, their
ugly
lives,
divorces.
especially and with the way their lives are going, they just can't be together, and it's like I said, it's genuinely heartbreaking.
Yeah, because it's not just Amber the one who's crying. Both her and Mark are both bawling their eyes out.
Yeah, because she doesn't want to do it. No, but they don't want to do this. They don't want to break up because they love each other.
Especially
But they
because
can't.
he keeps trying to make compromises, but those compromises keep getting destroyed because of things that are
Because
outside
of-
of their control.
Yeah, literally his responsibilities as the protector of Earth. Like he can't take days off anymore because we just got told that somebody who's going to be a lot less polite and potentially way stronger is coming. There's no vacation. Like the job's not done. The job just got worse. So yeah,
Yes.
and yeah, Mark just goes to the roof and he's just trying to deal with it. And you know, once again, we talked about how great the relationship between Mark and his mom are, and she calls him. So naturally, he sees her name and he just goes, "Hi, mom." But what we hear on the other end of the phone is Angstrom Levy's voice.
Yeah.
Credits. Like, fuck, dude. Like, of all of the fucking. Sorry, what did you say?
Oh yeah, for like a dude who exists in infinite dimensions, he decided to pick B for the one where he has the worst timing.
Holy shit. And honestly, I really, 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 really wish that the episode ended there. Because fuck, that would have been a beautiful ending. Especially because there's no music playing over the credits. It's one of those things I really love when like they let, because like obviously there's a lot of music and licensed music in Invincible, but I feel like that is super well contrasted when there is no music. And yeah,
Oh.
the credits just go zip, like quiet.
And then we get our post-credit scene.
We get a post-credits scene, which, oh man, you want to talk about fucking beefcakes? Anissa, who just handed Mark his ass, who could have conquered the Earth right then and fucking there.
By herself.
She swings on Alan the
Alan.
alien, who was just chilling, you know, like just
Almost
literally
got
nonchalant.
almost got ran over by the Viltrumite ship.
Did they see me? I think they saw me. No, they definitely saw me. And she runs his ass as hard as she did to Mark. Like, I'm pretty sure it's almost the exact same punch.
Oh yeah, it's the
that
same kind of
broke-
uppercut. Fucking
that broke
project.
Mark's fucking glasses, like in his fucking eyes, and
And
it
does nothing
did
to him.
fuck all.
Yeah, he's like, I didn't hurt as much anymore.
Huh? Let me see something. And he hits her one time. She is bleeding from the fucking nose.
Yeah.
He is now the most powerful character in the show, flat out. Like everybody we've seen, he is now stronger than all of them with one fucking movement. It's really well done. I appreciate it.
Want to do power scaling without having to do all the technical bullshit? Just that.
Yeah, he is very much more powerful, and I love this because it's contrasted by how the fight ends, where she's like, "We will take you to prison and dissect you to figure out what's wrong with him," and he's like, "Huh? You're gonna take me to prison? All right, let's give me your best shot with your weak punches." And she hits him again, and he passes out.
Or does he?
Yeah, as she's pulling him towards the ship, he just does the okay, then pretends to be unconscious again.
Yeah.
So I let you fling that weak shit again, and you'll just take me to the thing I'm trying to find. All right.
Yeah, because
Say less,
as we were
motherfucker.
told previously in the show, is that there's this weird secret Viltrumite prison.
There's potentially a Viltrumite prison, and like I've seen somebody argue, it's like, what the fuck is he just doing in the middle of space? It's so convenient. It's like, no, he was looking for the prison, you fucking retard. Anyway, so yeah, that's where the show ends, and he is in the same prison.
I genuinely he was looking for it on purpose. I thought he was just.
Well, he's looking for the prison, and to do so, he would be in Viltrumite-controlled space, and those Viltrumites would like home their ship on unrecognized signals in their space, especially if they detect it as a living thing able to move through the void.
Yeah, I just kind
Like
of
them.
assumed that because Alan is Alan, that he just got lost again.
I mean, that is
Now,
really
he
plausible.
didn't get lost. He was going to the wrong place.
Yeah, he
went to the place he thought he was looking for.
Yeah, everybody makes fun of his navigational skills. It's not his navigational skills. He just can't read.
Yeah.
I think it's depth perception
he's a
throws
Dragon
him
Ball
off.
fan. He can't
Shut up, you Biclops. Anyway.
Well, I mean, we all know who has the worst sense of direction in all of fiction.
Yeah.
As
Alan is passing, he just runs into Zoro, who's walking in space. Like, what the fuck? Anyway,
I posted
what am I doing here?
I posted in our little D&D thing. It's shortly after Ennie's lobby. They're all just having fun in the city. Zoro just casually got lost. He wasn't even going anywhere.
it's beautiful.
I don't even know who I am.
So yeah, that's where the episode ends. Alan is. Oh yeah. Also, another thing for it too is that Alan told Invincible he was going to look for his father.
Yeah.
Before he left, he said he was going, I'll look for it, keep an eye out for you. And yeah, like I said, Alan's a good fucking dude. Alan's fucking Chad, and now he's literally the Giga Chad of the universe.
Yeah. Too bad he's voiced by an actual.
I mean,
piece of
you're
shit.
hyping him up a lot. He's really strong, really strong. There's a lot of really strong fucking things out there.
Well, sir,
even that we've
as
met
of
so
right
far
now.
is what I'm talking about.
Battle Beast
As of
probably
now,
alive.
that we have seen, that we have met, and that we've seen in action.
I know, dude. Of course, I know what I'm saying. He's the
I
strongest
know.
character we've seen. Lamau.
That's
I
just-
wonder what happened. Anyways, so that's where the episode ends. Episode 7. We see Omni-Man, beating ass and taking names, and they're weird traditions. How you have to be ready to die or whatever. I don't know. I find that really strange, but
Viltrumite execution. A lot of their shit around executing other Viltrumites seems like an excuse to not have to do it,
well,
which makes sense.
I didn't put that together, but yeah, yeah. Well,
I didn't.
No.
Remember what Alan said about how they're really weird about executing other Viltrumites. I think it's like a very security thing or like a pride something.
Also, it is really weird that Anissa didn't want to put down this little fucking upstart who was betraying her.
Yeah.
Anyway, we might come back to that later in next season. Who knows?
Yeah.
But
the Viltrumite Council is just like, we didn't want to execute you.
it's like
they
make a fucking video. It's like, ugh, we didn't want to perform this.
Yeah, the video starts with
Thrax.
Krieg just sitting
Krieg.
just
I keep
sitting
calling
down
him
in a chair.
Thrax because Thrax sins Krieg. I don't like saying Krieg because it's spelled differently from Krieg from Warhammer. So whatever. Anyway, yes,
it just shows him
His name
sitting.
is Viltrum Greg.
his name
He
is
sit- it-
his
the-
name is Okami.
his apology video is him, like, it starts with him like making the sounds as he sits down, like, "Ugh, I didn't want to make this video."
pulls out a piece of paper from his pocket.
There's a dog in the, like, a weird alien dog in the corner.
It's okay. Like he pets him to show that he's like human. But yeah. So yeah, like an Omni-Man's beating ass. Cut back to Earth. Which, Slur, you said this is your favorite one?
My favorite one of what?
The title card?
Oh, the
So
fucking just this random dude trying to get in shape, and he's just jogging, and he's just like so fucking out of breath. Like
so
he's actually fucking dying.
About to
It's like,
fucking
come on,
puke.
you gotta do this, man. You
You're
get
gonna feel-
this done. You
you're gonna
keep going.
feel-
You're gonna feel. You're gonna
You're gonna
feel.
feel like a million bucks.
that's
Fun fact: after he says a million bucks, well, before the title card drops, you actually hear sonic boom of somebody going into that neighborhood really fast. So that's what I thought was a really cute detail.
I think that might be my favorite instance of this film, this show. I mean, of the diegetic music, because especially as that was Fatboy Slim. I forgot the name. Weapon of Choice.
Yeah.
Which those who are familiar with that song has. That's what has the infamous Christopher Walken music video of him flying around.
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny how they picked that song, and then the thing with the Invincible.
I feel like it's a nice little juxtaposition about like how calm it is outside, everything's chill, when meanwhile somebody's world's about to fucking fall apart.
Oh yeah.
And speaking of which, Mark walks in, and man, Angstrom has his mom in a fucking neck breaking position. We'll reset, by the way, so we could, because this shit's getting strong. Yeah, Angstrom Levy. As the theme of the universe has been going, he's not dealing with his deformity really well.
My Kuvalich stole my fucking money.
Fuck, loser.
He went to a bunch of dimensions to get his body fixed, and they still couldn't fix what happened with his weird galaxy brain deformity.
Yeah. And yeah, he is taking it out on Invincible and crew. And it's a really, it's like I said, it instantly. Oh, and he cuts off one important thing is he cuts off the communications.
Yeah, he causes the earpiece to sizzle out.
And like people will say, well, wouldn't Cecil know immediately something's wrong? Well, it's like, no, Cecil's dealing with the cruise ship. This all happens in like a fucking hour. That's the horrible thing about this whole thing is it is right next to each other kind of deal. So go ahead and hit it.
Yeah,
so
just give me a quick second. I have to switch things.
Sure.
Yeah, I was switching guns because I just was not liking the ones I brought on that mission.
Same. But fuck, man, this scene is the whole scene is really well done for how horribly uncomfortable and I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, just
Tense.
how dramatic, tense. Thank you. Everything a lot of bad feeling scene is happening right now. His mom's in fucking thing, his brother's fucking crying. We got a psychopath who is also not dealing with the fucking kid crying well either. There's a lot of shit going on at the same time, and man, it is not a good time.
Definitely not a good time.
And yeah, we get the first instance of seeing what Angstrom Levy can do in a fight. As Invincible is trying to rush him, he gets blasted to a different dimension, which is what Angstrom Levy is trying to do. He wants trying to goad Mark into basically running into these portals. And Jake, do you want to take the first multiverse?
All right, yeah. So apparently, it's a universe where the non-avian dinosaurs didn't go extinct, and it's like, okay, that's fine, that's whatever. And then they start talking. Oh, okay, so they're hyper intelligent, and I mean, sure, whatever, that's fine. where the put feathers on your dinosaurs.
It
Fucking
bugs
cowards.
him so much.
But and then they're like, oh, it's a sapien, and I'm like, okay, all right, no. So first off, humans would not have evolved if the non-avian dinosaurs didn't go extinct, because the only reason why we were able to become what we are is because a whole bunch of ecological niches opened up due to the due to the mass extinction at the end of the Mesozoic. So how the heck are humans, specifically Homo sapiens? We're not even gonna get into what is and isn't human. That's entirely different fucking discussion. You know.
all right.
No, I'm not done yet, Wyatt.
No. Let him cook. Give him a minute. He's been kind of quiet. Let's let him have fun.
So like and like they're just like, oh my god, he can fly and he has invisible wings, and it's like, I mean, okay, I guess that's whatever. But no, back to the whole thing is like, no, humans wouldn't have evolved. They wouldn't have known what the fuck a human was, let alone a Homo sapien, because the common ancestor, like, or at least what representative of primates is a little shrew thing.
For those
who
don't know, he literally doesn't ever turn this off, even when the
you
cameras
shut your
are
fucking
off.
mouth, you autist.
He loves our boy Jake, the surgeon, loves his dinosaurs. Continue, Jake.
And then like, and then it's just like they go around chasing them, and that's whatever, that's fine. But I'm just spitting here, being like, oh, okay, so no feathers, cowards. The hands are in the wrong
loaded.
positions. I'm sorry, it's 2024. Even
Current year argument. This.
No,
Okay, let him talk. Let him talk, because I have a counter argument to it. So.
Yeah, I know, alternate universe, things did that, things did this, old own rules, that's fine, that's whatever. This is not an issue whatsoever. But like
as long as you can acknowledge that. It did tricky though, so.
Yeah, and oh, which, by the way, I'm tired of people having theropod hands face downwards. They faced inwards towards each other, palms towards each other. Stop doing that.
Okay.
Stop it. And put feathers on your dinosaurs, you fucking cowards.
Do you agree with him? Do you agree with him, Slur?
Okay,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
done.
put feathers on the dinos. They deserve to wear clothes. Stop having to be naked, you weird scaly fetishists.
Exactly.
You know what? That is weirdly true. Like, because they seemed really intelligent for what they were.
They're intelligent dinosaurs, and yet they're all still naked. What perverts?
They're all still buck ass naked. So yeah.
Like, and it's like they don't have excuses. They're not like elephants that only have their nose, or dolphins that only have their teeth. They have hands. They could have made clothes.
Yeah. Oh, god damn it. So I'm skipping through the episode on the screen, and I literally stopped. I wish I could take screenshots, but he's literally doing the fucking Jurassic World thing where he's holding out his fucking hands toward the fucking 3 dinosaurs.
Oh my god.
It's a reference. I know it's a fucking stupid movie, but I do appreciate that reference because I like it when it pops up. But yeah, so
that's my dinosaur.
I'll
continue with the things that matter.
Okay, so anyway, Angstrom decides to bring him back. Is this when he has his freak out? Yeah. Okay. No. It's okay. You know. Yeah. It's definitely okay. So it's not.
It's after.
So yeah. Anyway, he's commenting on how he's never seen Oliver before. This is a new anomaly that he's not used to, and it's almost as if like, maybe not everything's as what it seems. But anyway, he brings Mark back from Jake's heaven, and he then sends him again.
As hell.
Hey, Wyatt, where does he get sent?
If you're having me describe Walking Dead world, I'm not having.
Why would I let you describe Walking Dead world? There's another world I'd let you describe first.
Okay, so
where does he go? Wyatt, almost called you Mark.
So okay, this is a moment I'm actually going to talk adaptation for like 2 seconds.
Sure.
We're sent to basically rip off Marvel, but in the comic that he actually was sent to Marvel. In the crossover comics, he actually was having that fight with that moment was happening with Doc Ock and Spider-Man, but because of rights reasons, it's knockoff Spider-Man and knockoff Doc Ock.
Yeah, Prof Ock and Arachnaman.
Yeah, like
there is an important thing here that maybe you haven't caught yet. It's important to note that in the crossover comic, Mark is there for a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Anyway, continue.
As someone who's read both, I've read that comic as well, because anything with Spider-Man in it is immediately like I've got to read it.
And there are a lot of parallels between there's a lot of parallels between Invincible and Spider-Man too. Like a lot of
Oh
like,
yeah,
they go through a lot of like very similar things, stuff like that.
and the fact they're not allowed to be happy. No, I'm kidding.
yeah,
Uh,
pretty much.
No, Mark is allowed to be happy.
For like a minute, you're right.
Yeah.
But he's
But
at least
anyway,
allowed to be happy.
so anyway, Wyatt, what else happens?
So, he interrupts their fight, and knockoff Spider-Man is just like, yeah, I know you're from an alternate universe. This happens. I'm a good guy. We need Professor Ock.
Professor Oak. And I really appreciate too that like, yeah, no, Mark is actually 100% reasonable here. He's like, how the fuck do I not know that you're the bad guy?
Dude, you bodied an old man and you have glowing red eyes. What do you mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, he's there for quite some time as it cuts to him being grabbed by Professor Ock. And then as he leaves that portal, he's got some web on his back.
Yeah, implying that, like I said, implying that like him and Spider-Man either were getting in a fight or working, or sorry, the arachnid dude, were getting into a fight and like doing something, or maybe working together or something.
So,
But it is an odd position that he'd have that weapon on his back.
so
It's-
this is I'm going to go on like just a tiny rant of my own because I really do enjoy that comic quite a lot. Honestly, Disney, you fucking cowards. You should have just fucking said, yeah, it's okay. You can use Spider-Man and Doc Ock for this
hang on.
5 second cameo.
Well, hang on. I think it's technically still under Sony.
It
still
is
don't
under
have the right-
Sony.
They still don't have the
Disney-
rights. Which, you know what? Yeah. Well, either you know. Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
Then the
not
name
the,
just
the-
fucking
so the-
changes.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say. Yeah, I was gonna say. I'm sorry, Wyatt. It's not the devil you're supposed to be mad at. It's Satan. Get it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
'cause
so,
Spider-Man doesn't
Sony.
get to be in fun things because his parents are still divorced.
like Sony, Marvel, Disney,
Ouch,
whoever.
man. That is that
Yeah.
hits harder than a disappointing dad's belt.
Yeah, so whoever the devil is behind these decisions, Sony, Marvel, Disney, whoever.
Considering
You
all the
fucking-
bullshit that happened, considering the
can't-
bullshit that happened with Helldivers, I'm willing to put it on Sony. Fuck Sony.
It's probably
Yeah.
Sony. So you absolute fucking cowards. It's 5 seconds. You could have done an actual Spider-Man and Doc Ock cameo.
So to be as much as I don't want to fucking do this, to be fair, we don't know if it's all on Sony. It could be a little bit on Amazon for not asking for the rights. They probably could just circumvent it. So
Oh,
we don't
man.
know.
It was probably cheaper to not bother.
Yeah, it was
Exactly.
probably
We don't
cheaper,
know.
and even though Amazon owns more money than God.
Yeah, well, they didn't get that money by spending on
it's
things they
at all.
didn't have to.
Exactly. I was about to say, you can't you can't have it both ways. But yeah. So yeah, we end that little universe, and yeah, I do like it because I also like the other thing that happens, which happens a little bit later. But because I like that comic as well. So yeah, we get that. He comes back from the arachnid realm.
Arachnaman.
No, I didn't want to say verse, but
The human
he comes-
spider.
The Profokverse.
Well, what? No, what was it? It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I wasn't Spider-Man. I was Man Spider.
So I don't think we actually get this one, and unfortunately, I'm so mad that somebody told this to me. We'll get to it, but because actually, I don't even hate it as much as you guys do. But we get Marky Moo getting thrown into another portal. We don't see where he goes, but the entire time, Angstrom is losing it. All of his lives
yeah.
are flashing in front of him, and we see some genuinely horrible shit.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
We see the intro scene from the first episode where he's about to get eaten by Omni-Man and Invincible, and we see that. We've already seen that.
Still
then
not
see-
convinced that's what's
Yeah,
happening, but okay.
you're on your
I
own
think
on
you
that
really
one.
fixated on the lunch line.
Yeah,
I'm
you're on
sorry.
your
I'm
own on
sorry.
that,
I'm
pal.
sorry. I'm sorry. You guys are just wrong. So it's fine.
Yeah, you media literate.
No,
Like, here's the thing.
I
Here's the
follow
thing.
you too.
Real quick. Just
As
for
Max
if you
is saying that to
if
the
you dis-
mirror.
if you disagree with me on this, you're just gay. So it's fine.
Ma-
But we get another flashback into a different universe with a different Angstrom, and with his son in the very similar situation where Invincible once again is the tyrant of the world. And fuck, we literally see Invincible rip his fucking kid in it. Well, we don't see it.
He
But
caused his child
once-
to explode.
Like in
Yeah.
one scene, we see Invincible holding the fucking kid, and the next scene we see Angstrom running towards the kid, and blood just exploding onto his face. It's like,
Interestingly, the way
"Ah,
he
man."
holds that kid is almost exactly the same position that
Yes.
Anissa was in holding
Amber.
Amber.
Yep. So it's a fucking genetic thing.
Uh,
Um,
and
Or that's
I-
just the most efficient way to splatter someone's head.
And it
Maybe.
confirms Levy's point that he said earlier, where most realities, Mark just does become evil.
and yeah, we get another scene of him running away from something that Mark is doing, but it's causing a massive explosion of rubble. And unfortunately, we see Angstrom survive, but the woman he's running with, it's a different universe. The woman he's running with, who is his wife, unfortunately doesn't make it. And then we see another universe where Angstrom is just being a detective cop man, and just seeing
just
all of his
shooting.
friends, just all of his friends just get completely bodied. There's like they literally stand no chance, and I don't like seeing women die in like media, and like man, that chick who gets just fucking her head popped. It's like it's
Just thought of something
Of-
interesting, actually.
Well,
Yeah?
Okay, so you're gonna have to let me cook a little bit for this one because it's a little
By-
weird. But
by all means.
okay, so Angstrom Levy, he says that in most universes, Invincible turns on humanity, joins his dad, and starts conquering shit, right?
right.
However, if there's an infinite number of universes, that means there's an infinite number of Invincibles that turn good, infinite number that turn evil. There's no differential. The
Yeah.
only way he can measure that is the fact that he is the Angstrom Levy comprised of the hundreds of Angstrom Levies he pulled from other dimensions. Which means most of the time where there is an Angstrom Levy, Invincible turns evil. The only consistent factor is the presence or absence of an Angstrom Levy. That's the only thing he can actually measure for in that analysis. Maybe he's the problem.
So that's an interesting way to look at it.
Alright. Sorry, okay, no, hang on, we let him cook.
Well, no, yeah,
Sorry.
I'm not disagreeing.
If he's the deciding factor, why does Invincible have to murder his fucking kid in front of him?
Because
Hey,
he's
I don't
Angstrom
know.
Levy. Maybe he should be someone else.
So,
That is the
So-
ultimate
Yeah.
victim blaming shit I've
All
ever
of the
heard in my
universes
life.
Have
where
you
he
seen-
didn't have an
Hold
Angstrom
on.
Levy to pull from,
have
we
you
have
seen
no
what
data on whether or
Angstrom
not
Levy's
Invincible
son
evil or
was
not.
wearing?
Jesus Christ.
Listen. Your logic is rational because it makes sense. My logic is circular because it's self-affirming. We are not the same.
So,
Oh, God
I
damn
want to
it,
point
yeah,
out, like, of all the universes that we see fucked up things, yeah, the kid one is, of course, really fucked up. The one where he's just straight up being executed is probably the one
Oh
that
yeah,
fucked with
the
me the most.
fucking
'cause
concrete camp of humans
so-
in a line just
Yes.
splattered.
Also-
But here's hold on.
Right, okay,
What's
okay.
worse is it showed in the subtitles Debbie was there.
Well, I was about to say that, but like that could just be like Debbie in the background. As
It could be
he's-
Debbie in the
yeah.
background, yeah.
But
That would-
Debbie
that would, like,
was
if
in the
they made-
background and possibly being one of the ones being executed because I'm pulling the line back up. She basically said
We're
like
pulling
don't
the
do
line
this.
out. I'm gonna look.
Yeah, because that could have just been the Debbie in the room with Angstrom.
Yeah, it seems like it's a line of guys, dude.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm pulling the
Yeah, we get the. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the Highlander universe where he's like a man with a stick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're all guys.
Why?
But
I
yes.
was
yes,
fuck.
hit Y. Oh yeah, that's right. If it defaults. Anyway,
Well, no, I just manually selected it because
okay.
I keep forgetting that X and Y actually do have like links to the answers.
Yeah.
Like
So
button prompts.
yeah, no, I feel like it's just Debbie crying in the background because of that line of guys. Which, yeah, he's fucking. I gotta point this out. He's just walking and not even
He's-
like.
Yeah, he's just doing a
himself.
karate chop through people's necks.
I wouldn't even say he's doing a karate chop. He's just swinging his hand out. Like he's literally just like as if you would like try to swat away a fly is what he's doing to these people's fucking heads. It's like holy shit, dog. Yeah, and here's the thing. Regardless if there's an infinite amount of universes, because here's the thing, and this is just like how true to life it is. you can do a million good things, but you're always remembered for one bad thing. There
Mhm.
might be a million universes where Invincible is a good guy, but he's never interacted with Angstrom Levy. The only time
Well,
Angstrom Levy is interacted with Invincible is when he's a tyrant.
well, that and
Yeah.
also when we want to talk about like infinite universes, there's also just an infinite number of universes where Mark just fucking died because Omni-Man just fucking killed him,
Yeah. But
or some other
but
Viltrumite.
But those
Mark
ones
arrives.
didn't have an Angstrom Levy to be retrieved.
Exactly.
exactly because
So Angstrom Levy is the problem.
yeah, true. Anyway,
You just want to go up to that Galaxy Braid guy and just go, yeah, this is all your fault.
Galaxy.
Hey, I'm not
when
saying it's his
Galaxy
fault.
Brain
I'm
did-
saying he's the consistent factor in the multiverse fucking paradigm where this sequence of events plays out in this way.
so
Well, he's not actually Galaxy Brain. It's that meme where somebody's basically just sitting on their own brain.
Well,
That's
I
what I
was,
keep
I was,
thinking
Oh,
I
about
was,
things.
I was gonna say his triceps are now brain.
so while he's having this freak out,
He's like Ultimate Iron Man, where like
Why
every
is-
So
part
the
of
dude
his
literally thinks with his shoulders.
Yeah.
right?
like where every cell of his body is a brain cell.
Yes,
So-
I'm well aware. Of
God,
the
that is so
ultimate-
fucking stupid.
The ultimate universe besides Ultimate Spider-Man was a mistake.
Yes.
So anyway, speaking of mistakes,
Does the A stand for
Um,
France?
Speaking of mistakes, Mark, after this freak out, taking advantage of Angstrom, he comes in and attacks Angstrom. Did you guys notice what he hit him with?
It
It's
was
really quick. It is
oh,
not shown. It is not
I
shown
forgot.
any fucking no.
No,
No.
he hit him with something from another universe. I need to look for what the object
Don't
is.
worry about it, because I'll tell you what the other universe is. He hits him with a gun from Fortnite.
Oh, gross.
It's on screen for like 2 frames. To be
I
fair,
thought it was like a traffic light or something.
Yeah,
no,
'cause
it's a
they
fucking
aren't-
assault rifle with like a crazy skin and like a
I
fucking
thought
like
you were gonna.
gun.
I thought you
And
were
I
gonna
was like,
say-
"Ooh, what is that from? That's really cool. It's a neat little thing." And it's like, "Oh, it's Fortnite." It's like,
fucking
gross.
Gay.
okay. Like I don't hate it as much as y'all do, but like, and once again,
I have no feelings on it one way or the other. I've just
Yeah,
never
I
been
think it's
interested.
actual
I
poison.
play real games.
right, like Warframe. But yeah, no, but here's the thing. Like I said, it's for fairness to the show, and like I said, it's cross promotion, so it's kind of their job. But I do appreciate that it's on screen for like maybe 3 frames.
Plus, like, yes, Omni-Man and Invincible, and probably a few others are in Fortnite.
I think Adam Eve is as well.
When are we gonna get the Debbie skin for Fortnite?
Right. I want to play as the baby.
Yeah, I want to
Um,
play as all. No, he'd have
Yeah,
You'd
he'd
have
have
a
a
size
tiny
advantage.
fucking hitbox.
I know.
Yeah,
it's
you'd
like
have,
playing
like-
as, it's like playing as Yoda or from fucking Soul Calibur or Gone from fucking Tekken 2. But yeah, fuck it, why not? Or Tekken 3. But
get on it, Fortnite. Epic.
so once again, so the idea is that Mark is getting sick of this bullshit, so he's not going to just fly through another portal. And one really clever thing he does, Angstrom does, is he throws a knife at Mark's family. And as a hero and somebody wants to protect his family, he goes immediately for the knife.
yeah,
But
and-
unfortunately, that immediately sends him
well,
through a portal.
Angstrom's portal placement has actually been really good because one point he puts a portal at Mark's feet, and in order to get out of it, he flies up and puts
into another portal, yeah.
Yeah. So say what you will, when you're thinking with portals, it's
So-
quite a really good power.
You're thinking with power.
So
You're
fun.
thinking with shoulders.
You're thinking with.
He literally has a good head on his shoulders.
Yeah, exactly.
Does it?
Yeah. Like his
Yeah.
entire his
It's all
entire
over his
back
shoulders. It's down his back. I think he goes down to the crack of his arse.
So
Oh
fun.
no!
He is literally
So-
a shit for brains.
No, so when he's taking a shit, he's wiping. He's literally wiping it all over his brain as he.
Anyways, let's get off of this fucking topic and talk
I
about
mean,
some
your-
other shit.
Well, I mean, it's not gonna hurt him. Your brain
God damn
can't
it.
feel.
Anyway,
What if he goes to the bathroom and just has a bad idea?
God damn
I
it.
hope.
Anyways!
in one reality, Angstrom Levy's got to have a bidet. Okay.
Yeah, it's a hat. Anyways, so fun fact. We'll stop talking about that shit. Let's talk about actual shit. Fun fact: the guy
Oh,
who
okay.
created Invincible, guy who created the original comic, Robert Kirkman, he also made another little-known comic that was also turned into a massively popular TV show called The Walking Dead. Um, which case, Mark gets sent into a zombified universe. Which, in
Yeah.
the promotion shit, they always bring up that this is basically The Walking Dead. Why it brings up a really good point because they're all talking. It is bizarre.
Yeah, walkers at the very least with The Walking Dead. That's good. Maybe they're talking in one of the 1700 spin-off
Well,
shows.
no, I don't think it needs to be 1-to-1. Like they're not literally The Walking Dead. It's just doing a zombie thing
Hmm.
as like a bit of a callback. It's not trying to
Well,
literally
I
be.
think there actually
it.
is like an Invincible and Walking Dead crossover that.
If
like,
there is, that's weird, but I don't think
I
that's
think
true.
it just again takes place during that arc, and
Yeah,
Angstrom's just
this
sent in
okay.
there.
Yeah, this arc is crazy, but while Mark is in another universe crying about Carl, um,
Oh,
Debbie is doing the either incredibly brave or insanely stupid thing of
It
pissing
can
off
be both.
Angstrom. It can be both, unfortunately. And
stupidity and bravery are often interchangeable.
want to point out that Debbie, as a household pet, has literally no superpowers,
Right,
Yeah.
and
Debbie?
she
Bark,
is.
bark.
Dad, I thought we were gonna get a girlfriend. We'll take you to the pet store another day.
I have a bug fetish, son.
They make me feel things.
This is the worst timeline.
Also,
Fishman's wife is single. This is the best
Last
timeline.
timeline. So yeah, Debbie is getting her shit rocked, and it's really uncomfortable. Like how like once again, props to the voice work, but man, does this fucking scene make me feel really weird and bad. Um, so yeah, she gets her arms snapped in gruesome details, and as she's like
Yeah.
screaming in pain, she is showing her true colors, being concerned for Oliver's safety.
Well, this is after, like, to be more specific on what she said. She points out, like, how much Mark has cared, and then just the thing that she said that finally snapped Levy was saying that this is the one universe where Mark's good and you're the one that's rotten.
See, she gets it. He's the
Yeah,
problem.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Maldo said versus sure, why not?
You just can't stand the fact that you're the cause of all your own problems, dude. Fuck you.
Right.
Exactly. It's your fault. Yeah, exactly. Maybe if your son wasn't born, he wouldn't have been killed. Hmm?
So
Yeah.
I don't know if this next bit is a reference to something, but yeah, Mark is just hanging out by a campfire, just like having an existential crisis,
I think that's
admitting 100% that he doesn't know how the jumping between the dimensions is fucking with time. So they do set that little nugget up, but
yeah, as Angstrom is saying, like, yeah, I could send him to a universe where time just functions differently.
yeah, I wonder how long they could do. And there's a one cut to a universe where, what was his name? Omnipotus. Omnipotus
Yeah.
is looking at him like, "Where are you from? How did you
How
get?"
did you get here? He's literally doing the
Where
fucking
did you-
Hotline Joe
How
thing.
did yeah? Where did you come from? Where did you go?
Oh, and yeah, like this other one where, the man who named himself Invincible has the balls to tell the goddamn Batman about his fucking name.
Yeah.
Show some fucking respect, motherfucker. Goddamn. Like, what's
this
that
is-
fucking saying? People who live in glass houses sink
Glass
ships.
houses shouldn't throw rocks.
Sink ships. Yeah.
A person who lives in a glass house is worth two in the bush.
Yeah.
And don't cross the road if you can't get out of the kitchen.
I know, like, and
But-
always make sure not to piss in a snow hill.
So I didn't
You
even
can bring
think...
a horse to water, but you can't teach it new tricks.
So I want to point
rocks,
out there's a-
and
there's
rocks
the-
always sink because they're looking down.
So I want to point
I'll
out
tell you
that he gets we cut from DC. Oh, sorry, we cut from fucking I don't know EB universe, and we cut to the Mad Max universe, and he's beating up a bunch of like regular dudes. But I want to point out that after he leaves the DC universe, he's got a black eye.
And he's shirtless. Like, his uniform is completely, like...
I just like the headcanon that like Batman didn't like what he just said about him.
I mean, I didn't think about it until
What are you
just said it.
retarded? You know who I am?
No,
I'm
I'm
the
the goddamn Batman.
Shut up.
So yeah,
This guy makes me want to get some crippling done.
Oh God.
Hang on, let me go back to that fucking list of
So-
panels I sent y'all.
So the
You know,
so
I
that
think Batman would be a much more effective symbol of fear for the crime of Gotham if he was called Cripple Man.
I mean,
I used to call Batman Coma Man because in the Dark Knight mobile adaptation game, you can just drop on people from like 16
Wait,
stories
there's a
and
Dark
land on
Knight
their head.
mobile
Yes, because there's
adaptation
any
game?
there's in the age of flip phones, everything had a game.
yeah. You talk about in the
I
age of
don't-
now, everything has a game. That didn't go away. But
but like these games. But,
so
but
yeah,
it-
he hits Mark in the face, and Mark goes Blarg, and then Batman goes Blarg. What's with Blarg? I'll give you something to talk about, Marco Boy.
So I didn't think about that until you mentioned it. Yeah, like Invincible has the balls to be like, Batman's pretty stupid of a name.
Yeah, how the guy who calls himself a concept? What a fuck. Anyway, who gets his shit wrecked every fucking episode?
I mean, to be fair, that same thing applies to Bulletproof as well.
True. Well, no, he can be bulletproof. You know what I mean? You can shoot him with a gun and he wouldn't do it. Like if Mark punched him, yeah, he probably not like he's gonna get fucked up. But Mark's on a bullet. Mark called
Yeah,
himself
bulletproof is just
invincible.
like, you know what? If it's stronger than a bullet, maybe it would hurt me. I'm not proof against that. I
Yeah.
better keep my the expectations around me kind of realistic.
Yeah, and then compared to somebody calling himself fucking invincible.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's why
And
everybody.
I fought you. You're quite invincible.
Yeah, and everybody who keeps fighting him keeps making that joke of like, why do you do that?
I love that everybody's like, it's kind of optimistic. So
You know
yeah,
whose name is exactly unproblematic for this because it literally just they are exactly what they say on the tin.
Rex
Battle beast.
Oh.
He's
Yeah.
a beast. He battles,
I feel like
and he's
Monster
real
Girls.
fucking good at it.
No, Monster
Girl's
Girl's not even
pretty-
good.
yeah,
Monster Girl's not even good for it because when she turns into a monster, she's not a girl. Can't figure that out.
that we know of.
Robot.
Yeah,
There's
she
also
should be called
Robot.
Monster or Girl.
Or girl. Monster.
Well,
Well,
then
no,
there's
Monster
also
slash
Robots-
girl.
There's
Hold
also
on, but
Robot because he's
Robot
not
was never
I
Robot was never a
unironically-
robot though. Robot was
Ironically,
a
Monster slash
human.
Girl would actually be a pretty good name.
But he okay, so he wasn't a robot in terms of his physiology, but he was a robot in terms of how he thought. He was
Well,
autistic
yeah.
like a machine.
He was more like an android.
No, androids are still robots. It's just a subclass of robot.
So
I think calling himself remote controlled surrogate body man would have been a bit of a mouthful.
it also would have
I-
given away the whole point of it because he was trying to pretend to be a robot.
well, he also could have called himself Baby Man, little baby man.
Little
Speaking-
baby man, you should have
speaking of-
died at birth.
Well, speaking of babies and mans, so a portal opens after Mark is whooping ass in the Mad Max universe, and he waits for Angstrom to figure out what's going on, and then blocks the fuck out of him and goes to the universe, which he then gets a good eyeful of his mom battered and his brother also being quiet. And this is
And
when
that's
the fight,
about it.
and this is when the fight starts to escalate because he then takes that motherfucker and throws him through the fucking neighborhood. Like,
Oh yeah,
it's like-
you don't get like the fucking anime shocked reaction face. You don't get like, what did you do to her? What did you? No, just head turn, immediate visual. The next thing that happens is this fucking shockwave sound effect of Angstrom flying to like the next postcode.
And then he does give him the "What did you do to her?"
Oh yeah, after he fucking lands on him.
after he lands on him, and unfortunately, this is when Angstrom reveals his whole plan, where he wasn't trying to kill him, he was wearing him down, which was set up for when he met the Marky Moo from that one universe where Cecil and Donald are Cecilette and Danald.
Donald.
Donaldina.
No,
it doesn't change. It's still just
Barbara
Donald.
Hill. It's Barbara Hill.
Yeah, you're right. That's right. You're right.
Peggy Jr.
But Cecil.
And I really appreciate this beatdown that fucking Angstrom starts giving Mark because fuck, it's awesome. Like there's a minute where
Visually,
he-
it's cool, but it is important to note that like Mark gets maybe a bit of a bloody nose, but most of the blood on him was there already.
Yeah. Because he's just worn out. Like it's once again the hey, just because you're Like I can feel these.
Like,
This
he's
mean
getting-
they hurt.
Yeah. Well, he's like setting him up too. Like every fucking like punch is followed up with like a portal. Like he's sending
Yeah.
him flying and through the air. And man, there's the moment where he like sends him careening into the ground with like all the hobos and shit. And like Angstrom just on full Dicko mode, like walking
shoves.
towards Mark, just shoves 2 fucking people into portals.
Yeah, God
Fuck
knows
you,
where.
motherfuckers!
Yeah, God knows where they're going to
Yeah,
go.
they're dead. He just killed 2 people, like just flat out, and they're just like homeless and shit. So who knows? Maybe maybe they went to a better universe. They might have been better off.
No, they
I mean,
said it
honestly,
right.
their odds are in their favor.
So,
Well, no,
oh my
no,
god,
no,
sorry, I
no,
forgot
no,
about that.
no, hold on. So he sends them through the portal, but it just sends to where that agitated Batman was. So he just sees these 2
Who just
homeless
beat-
people.
who
Do you
just
think
beat
my
them
name's
up?
stupid too? He just fucking.
Like, it's like I don't even know who you are. Anyway, there
don't
is a
even know
really
who I am.
Bad luck, motherfuckers. I'm
There's-
Cripple Man.
it's crippling time. Anyway, there is a quick shot which I really love. I did the fucking Leo points at screen when this happened the first time I watched it. But while he's beating him down, like sending him flying downwards in the universes, there is a quick shot of where he hits him. Is the same mountain range where season 1 ended. The same lighting, same mountain.
I saw
it's
that.
real
Yeah.
quick, and it's like, yeah, like, they do a lot of these little things. It's just really fast, and like you have to basically pause to catch them, really. But
It's almost like
But-
the animators and the storyboarders. They really know what they're fucking doing.
yeah, and unfortunately, he sends them to Desert World, and this is when, once again, voice acting, because fucking hell, like the anger and pain you hear from fucking Stevie Boy, like he is letting it out, and
Oh,
he's
yeah,
like, you
like,
don't
it's
know
like-
what I've been through. Like,
It's
just-
it's like a year plus worth of just frustration, anger, sadness.
Well,
No,
no, more than
no,
just a
Jake,
year. Again,
it's
we
been
don't know
more
how
than a
long
year.
he's been doing this. Like,
know
if
it's
we
more
were,
than
I
a year.
was like, again,
if
I'm
we
just
were
going based off
accurate
of, like,
to-
the established time.
yeah, that's
well,
fair.
no, it's not. No, the established time. No, like established time. It's we know it's more because he said it. It's been longer, but yeah, and I really
Especially,
appreciate how like when he gets that first hit on him, and he's like, it's they play this amazing righteous song of the good guy is beating the bad guy, but as the
Beats him.
blows fall, there's more blood splattering. The music gets a lot more dire to the point where he's mounting him, and Angstrom is basically like can't even breathe because he's just fucking choking on his own blood and trying to grab Mark to get him off of him, and Marcus slaps his fucking hand away and keeps hammering away at him. Like,
Yeah,
it's a quick like minute long scene, but like the music goes from this nice uproarious like beautiful moment of catharsis into wait, hang on, stop, Mark, you're doing something really bad, stop it.
yeah, into a moment of possibly horror.
As yes, he well and good, like already finished the job, goes with an immediate battle axe, or what's it called, axe handle, and just smashes into
Yeah.
what could be gets considered
He-
soup because we
Angst-
don't actually see what he hits. Like,
Oh yeah, like
Oh
it,
yeah,
it shows
his
shows
head
most
is
of
a
the
pulp after that. We
yeah,
just
it
don't get to
shows a
see
good
it.
chunk of the suit that he's wearing. We don't see
no,
the head.
we don't see past his shoulders. Like
All we
Yeah,
see is just the rest of the body and the fact that basically the entire area is just splatter.
So there's a good chance it's just paste.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
not
Well,
there
you
anymore.
see, the
And remember,
weakness of
his brain is bigger, so that means there's a lot more of
Yeah.
it all over the place.
thinking
Which,
with your shoulders
God, man.
may be good in some situations, but when somebody's making you into a pancake, it's just gonna make your brain sad.
and yeah, like we get this fucking horrible roar of like pain. Well, after gagging and coming to realization what he just did, and from the comic, it looks like he's basically yelling the line, but here he basically whispers it.
I very much
Interesting that you say that. That is not how I read it.
Really?
In fact, in the way I read it, and we can check like the actual panel itself because it's a
Yeah.
very famous panel.
It's a very
But
famous panel.
they make the text super small, so I always thought it was like a very weak. Like
Oh.
he only just comes back to himself and he
pulling
realizes
it up.
like, oh my god, I thought you were stronger. I thought you were able to take it.
So the way I read it, like I much prefer the adaptation a lot better because maybe this is just how I read it. I thought he was just more in shock than any actual side. Like he's like, oh, I thought you were stronger. Maybe it's because
Okay, no, you read a whole like comedic thing into it that is not the fucking tone.
that I was going to say it doesn't help that we've been using that as a meme for our D&D stuff whenever we've been overkilling people.
I thought.
I mean, there's a reason it became a meme. It's because the original version is very much not a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I posted it. What it actually says in the chat.
Hold on, I'll throw it up on screen for everybody.
Make sure you put the first one.
Okay. That way I'm covered.
Let me take a gander
I
at
thought it was
myself.
pronounced Levi.
That I mean, yeah, I understand.
That's actually me though.
That's
Fuck.
I got you.
I was
don't worry.
Literally
reading.
me for real.
No, I
for
got you. I
real.
got you. Don't worry. I'm immortal.
Levi.
So yeah. So Slur, the text isn't actually that smaller. However, the
speech
text
bubble is a
box,
bit
the speech
wiggly.
bubble itself
It's like
looks
wiggly,
like
squiggly
ragged
lines.
and squiggly. So I could
Yeah,
see
like
how you
he's
could
trying to
actually
say,
interpret that.
I thought
Yeah.
you were stronger.
That,
Something
like
that.
honestly, the way I
I-
interpreted it, though, I thought he was like screaming it, like in disbelief.
No, maybe
Like in
it was
shock.
maybe it was the boldening of the words that made
Well,
me
no, that's
think
just
he was-
emphasis. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's like, I
listen,
think it was stronger.
just because like the boldening of the words become a meme in Frank Miller comics because he's Frank Miller doesn't mean
Yeah, well,
that, like,
we don't
everything is like that.
need to bring that up. We've brought him enough up with the goddamn retarded Batman. But
I'm the goddamn fixer.
Oh God.
crippling man.
I think we'll need to be paid actual money if you ever want us to talk about Holy Terror.
I will do it for free.
So yeah, Mark completely realizes like not only what he did, but how badly he just fucked up.
Oh yeah, he
And
fucked up
he is-
entirely.
Yeah, and unfortunately, he's not dealing with it well. Weirdly enough, I know a lot of characters. I know what a lot of characters in the show deal with like their trauma really well, but Mark in this particular scene is just not doing well.
Like when you kill someone, that tends to fuck you up.
I was actually going
Not
to
only
say
not only did you kill someone, Jake, but you also killed your only exit.
Yeah, that's true. You won't-
So I will say as a it's funny as an observation how for the past few weeks now we've been we've been watching a lot of media that has a lot of instances of how to deal with death, the most notable being this now, and when we've watched Tombstone, for example, and how Bill Paxton's character dealt with having to kill a man, and how Kurt Russell playing his brother helps comfort him because he's been through that.
and you know how Kurt Russell deals with his brother's death.
Oh yeah.
Well, let's not get into it.
The point
Spoilers.
the point that
let's not get spoilers of another show that some of us haven't seen. So
the point that I'm making is it just happens to be a coincidence that we've been watching a lot of media that covers the idea of killing somebody.
Well, yeah, a lot of Anyway, it's a really beautiful scene, and I really appreciate him monologuing, because a lot of people always criticize monologues, like, oh, why are you talking to yourself? Well, it's like, well, yeah, he's kind of dealing with this, and he also says it's like in your head out loud. What's the difference? Like, well, no. So we get a chance for that, cover that up, and then he's just losing it. Then we get to potentially the worst thing in the series. The Guardians of the Globe show up.
Yep, and
I really don't like this scene.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's not even just like an alternate universe, Guardians of the Globe.
It is his universe.
His universe in the future, and the planet's all.
But they went back in time through a portal.
Yeah, they went back in time, and we all know time travel always works out, right?
Oh, and don't worry, they got 4 fucking time machines. Like, oh, great!
Boy, more.
Yeah,
more
I was
travel.
thinking about that as well. I was like, why did you say that?
Well, because
because
the biggest problem with time travel is having a machine. So they had to make sure that people knew that they have the machine. God forbid that comes up for anything, but
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, now that we know that in 50 years was it 25 or 50?
20.
It's 20.
20
It's
years.
20 years.
That their universe will just successfully master time travel.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
But
eh,
the
but
implication.
at least the machine exists. That's all we know.
So once again, the implication is that this is from his universe, which, as we established, doesn't make sense how that works because Angstrom Levy said that these are all happening at the same time. He can only just move between the universes.
That's right. He can't.
Exactly.
So he took that Invincible from there, but then the implication is that if they didn't show up, then Invincible would have become something that he wouldn't have liked. So
Mhm.
what? But how would he have become something that he would not have liked if he stayed there to die, essentially?
Yeah,
Well, no, if
that's
he
Unless
stayed
both
there, he would
dimensions
have
don't
become
need to
someone
eat.
that would have had to survive. Staying there on its own wouldn't have killed him, but he probably would have become a pretty vicious fucker to survive a harsh environment.
Yeah, but how would they have known that? That means they'd
Probably
have
because
to.
they lived it.
Yeah, they lived it because they were looking for him for 20 years. But like I said, there's so many issues that pop up with this one
Yeah.
thing. It shattered my immersion when it happened. And I was like,
yeah.
God damn it! I had
I
nothing but praise for this fucking show up to this point,
I didn't.
and this point really fucking bothers me.
Yeah, I
Time
didn't notice it
travel will very
until.
often just eat your plot into unfunctionality. It
Well,
will
Yes,
that's
and
just
especially
destroy
and it's combining time travel with universe hopping, which we've established what the rules were.
Yep.
We said this. We said it in the first episode. I can
Un-
only travel to other universes. I can't
Yeah,
move between them.
that's
I
unfortunate.
I
I didn't.
unless like
I didn't think about it
you
until
wanna
now.
argue that
This-
unless you want to argue substituting your traps for gray matter means that he can do that, which no, shut up, stop it.
Yeah, no, no. God damn, no. I don't want to do that. That's fucking stupid. So,
But we
this-
already know what the extra brain juice does. It basically just gives him all the knowledge and memories and shit of all of his other selves. That's all it is. That's all it does.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
very end of the world creating selves.
So yeah, I really, 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 really don't like this. And most people will admit this arc is very weak in the
Excuse me.
comics. So I'm worried about how this is set up for that arc, which it's gonna come back. Because I mean, honestly, I kind of hope it never comes back because they just say fucking skip that arc completely. But
yeah, just say fuck
the
you, time travel.
implications is that it's gonna happen because that's
Yeah.
just what it is. Like we're gonna
With
see.
Eve going, just tell your Eve that you love her.
Don't tell me, tell her. It's like, well, he shouldn't be able to tell her you because you should be somebody else. Whatever.
Yeah,
It's
this
Even,
would
it's
even,
stupid.
and even though one of like the only rules so far we have is like Eve, you can fuck up the time stream by doing this.
I-
Like, what are you doing?
Okay, this would have been instantly fixed if they instead of saying time travel, they said we have our own interdimensional portal stuff.
I see. The problem is okay.
Then how are
I was genuinely upset of like before this happened because I didn't know how Mark was getting it out of this. Because like, man, he's fucked. So honestly, that also sucks because like, oh, they can just do that even though
Yeah,
Angstrom is
no,
the only
it's-
person in the multiverse who
it's-
could do that.
It sucks no matter what, but
Yeah.
I'm saying like if you're gonna basically write Mark out of the situation, if Robert Kirkman's fucking pencil is gonna just suddenly invent a way for him to get out, I'd rather do that than simply say it's fucking time travel because that breaks
Well, no,
more
it's
rules
not.
than
It's not simply time travel because they're dimension hopping as well.
they're time traveling
well,
while dimension hopping at the
yeah,
same time.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like we break less rules than what we were already told was their solution.
Mhm.
Because the solution we were given breaks more.
Yeah.
Would you rather
So-
deal with a chipped glass or completely shattered one?
And unfortunately, what we got was the completely shattered one, and
Yeah.
that's why, like, this is my biggest problem with the show. Slayer, what do you think?
No, I agree. It is. In order to justify it or explain it or try to make it track with everything else, you're filling in so many gaps for the writers that it becomes not worth it.
Yeah.
You're almost like trying to fix it just by the nature of trying to understand it.
Yeah,
That's not a
it's-
good way to do things.
That's
Yeah.
not, and it's not our job as the audience.
And like, unfortunately, this is probably one of the biggest examples of shitty plot armor.
Yeah.
It is
Because
literally a Deus Ex Machina.
it's literally like literally he's being saved from this situation that is pretty fucking much unfucking salvageable. Like that's
Yeah,
the thing. I don't even know how to make this work.
and to the
Like-
point that it's literally interfering with other shit, because I feel like that almost, because of quote unquote future Eve telling, like, oh, tell her, don't tell me, tell her, like, that's basically, that's the push forward that's eventually gonna lead
Yeah.
to them
Oh yeah.
dating.
This also is the reason why. God, this is apparently the reason why they will get together is because Eve had to tell him. To get
I
together.
think it maybe brings it to Mark's attention a lot sooner. But
But no, but
all
the
of
thing
the
is,
stuff
hang
is
on, hang on.
already there.
No. But the thing is, before that happened, we already had
They-
little snippets.
Yeah, they
of
were
it.
developing
Like
naturally.
the
Now
way
we
they
literally
came
have...
together in like the spaceship, like for the fucking whole Mars attack thing. Like there is like enough there that you could see like a potential relationship coming out of, and especially the way they interacted. Well, at least the way Eve looks at him in season 1. Like
Yeah,
there's
no,
a
I
lot
get
there.
that. That's kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All of the if this shit never happened, that relationship is already like very well established and set up, and their chemistry is already there.
Mhm.
So saying that this shit happening and the "don't tell me, tell her" thing is the reason they get together, that
Well,
doesn't track.
Well, no, I'm not saying it's going to be the reason. It might be what leads to the final push. Like,
Well, no, it leads to the conversation basically happening though, because he's like,
Yeah, it
Eve,
leads to an
I
earlier
got it.
push.
I gotta tell you something, and then never mind, and it ends right there.
yeah,
So like like I said, there's a lot that it
that's
fucking drives me insane because there's a
that's how
lot that this
much I
does
think
wrong.
this fucks with it.
Yeah, there's so much this does wrong, and fuck me. There is so because you know me, I got to do the devil's advocate thing. There is something I really fucking love about this scene, however, is that I guess it's not spoilers because they just said it, but that is Rudy. He's just grown up to look, sound,
No,
and
but
seem
but
like
she
Rex.
called him Rex, though.
Yeah, it is weird how she called him Rex, isn't it?
Yeah, which
If
If
made,
anybody knows the
which,
comics, they know why he's called Rex. But yeah, like man, that's a really fucking clever thing. But that is Rudy. That is Rudy right there. And what they did is they took just Rex's model and Rex's voice actor and made the voice actor sound a little bit older. It's really clever and really well done. I appreciate that. But other than that, fuck this moment.
oh,
Yeah.
we also in the interim we have kind of missed something, because there's quite a little bit of screen time that Mark is just kind of wandering the desert dealing with what happened. We go to like what is a mountain range. I was going to say it's the Himalayas. We don't know that. So I wanted to specifically point this out because we see Immortal's home, and I just
I was gonna cover that in the wrap up.
Well, I was just gonna cover like the items we were just seeing in there.
Yeah, I was gonna lead into that, but I guess yeah, if everybody's just in agreement with me, like this is like asininely retarded, and
Yeah.
I
It's,
think it's awful.
it honestly brings the show down because of like how like weird and fucked up this whole situation is.
Okay.
But yeah, yeah, and they just Deus Ex Machina him back. He goes, here you go, Poochie, go back to your fucking home planet, and they just send him back to the proper universe. And yeah, we get Mark seeing his mom and everything's okay. Well, not everything's okay. Debbie is fucked up, and Mark is just like
Because
broke.
Angstrom
Is
didn't
his-
just Angstrom didn't just break her arm. He almost borderline separated it from her, like her wrist
From her-
area
from-
from
yeah,
her
no,
body.
yeah, and yeah, like it's just that like,
And
Mark had to deal with that, and
then
like,
gave her a
he's-
black eye on the exact same side that he has a black eye, and then it's the exact same
Yeah,
side that his
everybody
dad
seems
has
to have
a
the
black-
same black eye in that last episode.
yeah, it's weird.
yeah.
all on
Um,
the exact right their right eye.
And all the exact same level of swollen.
Yeah. So yeah, we get Mark just trying to like figure out what just like happened, and Cecil, once again being best girl, comes up to him and gives him some advice. He's like, dude, what you did isn't necessarily a wrong thing. Angstrom Levy was going to kill you, and he was going to kill your mom, and he was going to kill your brother. Like,
Yeah.
like and you're not your father. You didn't kill him, like you didn't kill him because you were just angry. You were killing him to protect your family, and that is something to be said. That during the fucking freak out, he like part of the reason he started like pushing like harder is because Angstrom once again threatened his mom.
Yeah, and he
And
Yeah.
the first thing that he says before he starts bodying the fuck out of him, it says, "Leave my family alone."
yeah, and as he said, as he says multiple times, he lost control because that was said.
Yeah,
And that's kind of like why this is so fucking big to Mark. It's not even just that he took a life. Like, just think how, after the end of season one, how central to like his entire character is that he is not like his dad. And so for him to like get so angry he splatters a person, that he wins by just fucking fighting someone to the death and just ends them brutally, even though he's strong enough to not have to.
yeah,
Yeah,
The fact
Yeah.
that he crosses that line, it's not just killing someone, it's kind
He
of
let
failing himself.
yeah
yeah,
he let
that's why.
himself like let go, and like he's
It-
trying to justify. He's like, "Well, no, he told me he was strong. I'm allowed to hit him that way." Like he says like all
He's
this shit to himself. He's trying to like justify it, but he can't.
And
and
then
it's
eventually he breaks down. It's like, no, I wanted to kill him.
I wanted to kill him.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
also that fundament, like as you said, like a failing himself. It's that fundamental like belief that's almost amongst a good chunk of superhero content is because like the reason why they don't kill is because they have the power to basically go around that. It's like to kill somebody when you like have Superman's level of power. It's lazy. It's a shortcut. When you don't have the power to kill, that's
I don't
the
think the problem is laziness. I
don't
think the
think,
problem
yeah.
is
That's
tyranny.
not it.
Like,
Yeah.
It's more or less like it's more or less the idea of I have like what like
it's
why
a it's a
why should
I
I
moral
don't think
abuse
question.
Superman was
abuse of
going, yeah, no,
power,
I do no
essentially.
kill because like killing
Yeah,
people
it
is
would
for
it would
fucking noobs.
yeah like I mean, it would just everybody would make fun of me for it.
Well,
so I
no,
couldn't kill people.
it is
No,
the
it's
tougher path, is what I was.
No,
like,
it is the
I
tougher
was-
path. I agree, but like that's not the
I don't think
reason.
I don't think
it's
that's
also
yeah.
a sense of like it's also a sense of trying to like show the people it's like I'm not going to abuse
be
my
better.
power.
To
Gotta
stoop
It's
be
to
like you
better.
your
have the
level.
power to be compassionate, and you exercise that, rather than having the power to execute people who do wrong and exercising that and what that means, and like
Right.
what your ideals are, not just oh you kill your enemies, lol, fucking easy mode fag.
Yeah, what the fuck, dude? You want to play fucking
Well,
Dark
that's-
Souls on journalist mode?
Well, no,
You
that-
phrased it wrong. I can understand though.
it's
Like,
also it's also that's the phrasing changes depending on the hero you're talking to, because that's like
well, then we start
the
reaching.
the
on,
easier
like,
way is literally the bat. That's like it's very easy for Batman to
okay,
kill.
but that's not Batman's central argument. It's the thing
Batman's
is, like,
central argument, I will
will
become the thing. I will become just as bad as these people.
Also,
if I do
you
this.
don't need to use the phrasing the characters use. You're the one expressing the idea. When you try to use the phrasing the characters use exactly, it will get misconstrued because you're not talking in the context they are. You're talking to us.
That's fair.
Yeah.
like I said, it's not about how easy it is. It's about like what taking a life means.
And in this case, it means you're stranded in a fucking desert because
Yes.
you were literally too angry to fucking
Well,
think.
well, that's secondary. I think it's oh my god, I'm my father.
Well,
Yeah,
that's a big one.
Yeah,
Yeah, because like as
Although
he was
he got
told,
to,
he has to like as he was told on Thraxum that he has to stop holding back, and the second that he didn't, he was winning, and then he held back for just a second, got stabbed, and it ended up costing him his dad essentially.
He has to learn to fight like a Viltrumite while also not being his dad. Like
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
trying to have it the hardest of ways because he's trying to keep the strongest of lines.
Yeah,
so
the
yeah,
burden he carries is very heavy.
so maybe it's because that time travel scene put a bad taste in my mouth. I'm not sure, because or maybe because it just tonally doesn't make any fucking sense. But I really hate the next scene of, oh look, it's the guys from season 1. Remember the Egyptian dude? Remember him? And it's like,
Oh, I
he's
didn't fucking
sexist.
remember
Not really.
Jack Andor shit. I was like, what
You
the
didn't
fuck
remember
is-
that? God damn it! See, that's the thing. Like I said, I feel like that fucking just rips it out. And then how tonally inappropriate this part is, like as well.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, I need a man to
I
possess.
need a man. And it's like, oh, what do you need a
Like,
man
yeah,
for?
this thing that
That-
we're being shown that we're snapped into this needs to like lead up to something immediately, or we're gonna feel like it's a waste of fucking
Well,
animation.
it does lead up to something, unfortunately, but all it does lead up to is just a callback to season 1, where Mark accidentally fucks this guy's plans up by flying too low. That's all that happened in season 1. Like, the Egyptian evil guy who was going to take over the world accidentally got stopped by the hero because he fucked up.
I
And
completely
almost
forgot about
the
this guy.
same fucking thing happens again in this thing. But because god damn it, this next scene is so fucking awesome and beautiful, and the fucking music is great for this scene as well, and voice acting is fucking 1,000,000%, and the storytelling done through animation is so fucking good, with him traveling far faster than we've ever seen him fly before.
Oh right,
Yet it's fucking started with this stupid fucking Egyptian joke. So that's what I'm saying. Like, normally I like the stupid callbacks, but like this one is really stupid.
And I'm gonna take the norming perspective on this one because I just flat out did not remember him to the point that like I don't think a good number of normal people that don't analyze stuff in the same way we do, they're not gonna fucking remember him either.
Slur,
No,
did
they're
you?
not.
Vaguely.
Yeah, because like the
I
guy
recognized the tomb and stuff. I just didn't
Like,
remember what it was.
yeah, the
leading
guy
to.
who's on the ground, like, like fucking, mummied out. Like, that was the guy voiced by fucking Clancy Brown from fucking season 1. Like, we see him die, and then the fucking tomb gets crushed because Invincible flies too fast.
Yeah, it's
Remember Omni-Man's like, you need to fly a little bit higher. You're messing up the desert.
yeah, it's just
Well, now.
it's an instance where because they didn't remind you know where they reminded us? They reminded us on the previously on. The fucking recap reminded us that character even existed so that we would get that scene later. And that's lazy as complete shit.
And like the joke lasts way too fucking long too, because like you think it's gonna go somewhere. It's like, oh, this is like a superpowered individual, and it's like, oh yeah, I guess there would be other superpowered individuals because like they're just a bunch of fucking people running around. Yeah, who cares?
Mhm.
It's like, oh, they might be like lesbian lovers or some bullshit. And, okay,
It's
yeah, whatever. And then the fucking like the mummy guy goes, oh, haha, yeah, one of you are women. It's like, well, what's wrong with that? It's like I feel like anywhere else this would be a fun scene. Where it's at is really fucking inappropriate.
Yeah, I don't like it at all.
And especially the following scene, which I just said, like, it's so fucking well done. And once again, without showing too much, because like some people might not even realize what Mark is doing here. Mark is going fast as fuck. Like, he is literally breaking the fucking sound barrier and like
multiple
fucking
times
with light, like he's crossing like the light spectrum, which they calculated this for like how like at the beginning of the One Punch Man logo, where like his fist like does like a rainbow effect before it like punches, because he's going so fast it's fucking with the light spectrum. He's not going light speed, but he is going fast as fuck, and we've never seen Mark go this fast. So that right there shows that it was a good amount of time because he's gotten stronger.
Yeah, we're seeing what happens when he's so pissed off he's really pushing himself.
Yeah, but we're seeing him pissed off to the point where he's pushing himself past where he's ever been.
Yeah,
yeah, and he could like and in a way it's like he's almost mirroring his dad when he ignited the atmosphere on fire.
Exactly. And this frustration that he's becoming his dad, he's doing exactly what his dad could do. So he is now objectively stronger because of what he's been through.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, and like I said, it's animated perfectly. The music is like perfectly toned to it. He's doing the equivalent of punching a punching bag, except for to show the difference in power. We'd see somebody punching a punching bag before, but now he's punching through the fucking bag. That's what this is showing.
I don't. This is take this with a grain of salt. I'll need to pull it back up because didn't Robert Kirkman said in the amount of time he was going between portals, it was like a difference of like 5 to 6 years.
It might have been, but the idea is like I feel like it doesn't matter what like specific time it is. We've seen that time has passed, and he's now stronger than he was.
Oh yeah.
In the season.
It just
Yeah.
amplifies it if we actually like 5 or 6 years just hopping from dimension to dimension, borderline nonstop. He's lost almost to the point he loses almost complete track of time.
Yeah. Which is crazy to think that that fucking fight against Angstrom was potentially a decade-long fight. But yeah. And yeah, he's just he's like I said, it's the equivalent of somebody just like trying to muscle fail because they're so fucking like frustrated. And, what's his last name? Steven Yeun? How do you
Young.
say it? Yeun. Like Steven Yeun just fucking screaming his ass off. It's great. It almost makes up for the shitty time travel thing, but it doesn't. But still.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah,
I don't know
we
what the
get.
show would do to make up for that.
I don't say well, we're good. It's not going to because we have to bring it up later. That's something that's going to have to be addressed. So I'm worried about
I
that.
hate
But we'll have
time
to see.
travel. I hate it. I hate
Yep.
it.
It's all shit.
I-
So yeah, and then we see a quick shot of him flying past Amber, his rock, someone he could always turn to no matter what happens, and she'd always be there for him, even though her life is falling apart. But he can't do that again to her because he knows how fucked up and shitty that is. So
Yeah.
he has no he has no one to be there for him in this moment of like horrible vulnerability.
Except for Eve.
Well, yeah, he does. Well, yeah, he sees Eve, but um, yeah, he sees Eve, and man, I didn't want to get to it because once again, it just comes back to this bullshit where he's now like what I was saying, he's like kind of spurned on to talk about this because of the time travel bullshit.
Yeah, like I said, that's why it annoys me because this
Yes.
conversation now needs to happen. Is possibly going to happen a lot sooner than it naturally would have.
Well, yeah, well,
Well, I
like
think if it was going to happen sooner than it naturally would, it would have happened here.
no,
But
no, no,
he
yeah,
didn't do it because it felt unnatural, and he just wasn't ready to have that talk.
yeah,
So if
but
it comes up in future, it's going to be for natural reasons.
yeah, but here's the thing, like if we didn't have the time travel bit and we had the exact same scene, it would have been fine.
Yeah,
Because he
that's-
just went through a
That's
portal.
what I'm
He
saying.
just
That's
went through-
Yeah,
it's not even that it ruins anything. It's just completely unnecessary.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
why I just wish it just wasn't fucking there.
yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, and yeah, we get a moment where like he's like he's realizing that he has Eve to lean on, and he's potentially going to admit some feelings there, but he doesn't want to yet because of everything. And Eve just accepts that, and she's just there for him. It's a really cute moment, and it's a really nice way to end the show.
As we see, by the way,
the-
we forgot a brief, quick little thing when Eve was calling him at Comic-Con to go help out Rex. She was
yeah.
dealing with a personal bit, and we saw
She's wrapping
Killer.
something up.
Yeah, and it was
Killer Cannon, I think his name is, or something.
yeah,
like that.
and she was holding the device that he stole. That was specifically from Robot. So it's a
And,
nice callback.
So there was a couple wrap ups. We already talked about Tism Boy and Pedo Bait, but what about somebody going on vacation, right?
So, as I was, let me throw my powers out so I can pull up the other monitor. Boop, boop, boop. So
You have special abilities? What?
we cut to the this
Or just let him
mountain.
have it.
Invincible, Wyatt?
I'm pulling
Let him
this.
have this one.
I'm also pulling it up for the audience. We cut to this log cabin in the middle of a mountain range, and it turns out it's Immortals, and we see a few trinkets. We see his original costume, we see some swords, and I'm sorry, is that the Holy fucking Grail?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
okay, so if
Immortal
it's...
is Jesus. Don't you understand?
No, he's can't canonically not. We've already made the comparison. He's Vandal Savage, but good.
But he's also
So why
Jesus.
can't he be Jesus?
Yeah, why can't he be Jesus? Like if he's been around since like the Neolithic period, like since the
I think that would have
Stone Age, why
made
can't he be
lot more of an
Jesus?
impression in the little montage of his past lives than fucking Lincoln.
I don't
But
know.
he
man.
will have had like many past lives. Which
Yeah.
ones stand out to him as he's remembering them isn't necessarily the ones that we would find most significant.
Because like if that is the Holy Grail, then like him being Jesus, like it's not far fetched.
Yeah, it also implies that maybe he was a crusader. You know, he's had, dude, he's been alive basically forever. He's had many, many
At
lives.
least
And
several
then-
100,000 years.
So
then also-
we don't know like the vast majority of them. He could have been Jesus.
Mhm.
Possibly, and I guess his blood would then give the Holy Grail its powers. I guess.
Or
Like you're assuming that the Holy Grail has powers. It might
Yeah.
not.
Well, I mean,
might
it
just
does.
be
You give
like a
it, you
freaking
put it in the
grail.
water, and then you pour it on Sean Connery's
okay, but
stomach.
I
like-
I know in Indiana Jones Tism land, but like I mean, for all we know, God doesn't exist in Invincible, and like the Holy Grail is just like a cup.
There's possibility, but the biggest Easter egg is just a lady that hangs out, and that lady's name is Duplicate.
Well, hang on. I took a pee, but I do want to point out, like, Wyatt, were you actually making that a point?
No, I think he was
I
memeing.
got very hung up for a moment at least that it's like,
yeah, you
that's the
seemed pretty
fucking
hung
holy-
up. That's why I was a little worried. I was like,
That's
wait,
the
dude,
Holy
yeah.
Grail, like
Yeah, but in this universe, it could just be a fucking cup.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Like, or if
And
it is
honestly,
the
I
Holy
didn't even
Grail,
think,
it is
and I
just a cup.
didn't even think it was the Holy Grail. I thought it was just a fucking trophy.
Yeah. Oh, that thing. Yeah, I thought it was just a fucking trophy.
hold on, I'll take a screenshot for
It's just a
everybody
fucking
else.
cup.
But like,
Here's the
even if it is
picture for
just,
everybody
even if it
else.
is the Holy Grail, like there's
Like, once again, yeah, in this, we don't have enough context to know that it is actually a magical artifact. It could just be something that he used.
Yeah, I guess it could just be the cup, or it's the legendary cup of Christ that grants immortality and heals wounds, and also can't cross the seal.
Yeah.
That one
well,
was
I
just
mean,
another-
like,
that one was
well,
just
I
a
mean,
joke.
like, I
Yeah.
mean, like, it would probably be powered by Immortal's curse, though.
I mean,
rather than, like, being God.
The thing that's also just another notable Easter egg is
Well, no,
his,
the,
his
well,
Lincoln
hang on.
hat.
Wait, Jake, did you say that's how he got his power? Is that what
No,
it
no,
says
no,
here?
no, no. I'm
Yeah.
saying like if the Grail does have any kind of powers, and let's
It-
just say
Yeah,
that
it could be
he's
reversed
Jesus.
that it's just got Immortal's powers.
Yeah, like
because of his
Immortal's
blood and
Immortal's
shit.
curse was what would if that Grail granted immortal life, it would be like a part of Immortal's curse that did that.
Yeah.
But in terms of other Easter eggs, there's his Lincoln hat when he was good old Honest Abe, but then also a seal from the like a family crest from also the Crusade times. Then yeah, the most notable Easter egg is Adam Eve just hanging out. Not Adam Eve, Duplicate.
Duplicate 0.
Yes.
So it's a really interesting fact that anytime you see Duplicate and she's like not duplicating herself, she always has a 1 on her chest. And any of the other ones you see, they have numbers. This one specifically had a 0 on her chest,
Mm-hmm.
which puts some weird potential in it as well. Because like, how do her powers work? Because she can do it when she's naked or whatever. But yeah, like it's a really nice wrap up where like she just wanted to retire. And honestly, yeah, Duplicate's powers kind of suck. Like,
Oh yeah,
man,
yeah.
like they man, that sucks. Like
And
fucking
also-
hell.
And also the original is just living in isolation, so that they can't kill the original source. Yeah, that would fuck with you too.
I mean, it's not like the original experiences isolation really, because they all share all of their experiences. That's kind of part
No,
of
I'm
the
stuck.
problem.
Okay, I'm good.
Well, wouldn't it be all of that plus the isolation of the like quote unquote original?
Not really.
Not
You would
really.
experience sitting in a room, and you would experience being in another room with your friends at the same time.
And you experience like having sex.
Even
like,
though it's
from across
not
the
the real you.
Well, they're all the
But
real.
they're all the
She-
real her.
okay,
That's the
Wow,
problem.
she literally says that in season 1.
I feel like
They're
why
all
you
the
don't
real
listen when
me.
people explain their fucking powers.
Yeah,
No.
that's
No,
like literally what
They're
she
all
says.
the real Kate. Like they all
Yeah.
share the same memory, same feelings. Like they literally feel what each other's feel. They're all the same Kate.
Yeah. So I could see what you're saying, but like it'd be the same thing as like, oh, but she's like isolated alone, but she's also like watching Netflix and chilling and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But except for her Netflix in this regard is her being a superhero and hanging out with friends.
Mm-hmm. It is her wanting to retire is very reasonable. How many times she's experienced death, as she already talked about with Rex, is like, yeah, that would get to someone's head.
especially the desperation she felt before her death in that one. That one's pretty rough. Like you hear her
Yeah.
freaking
Oh,
out.
oh
Like,
yeah, that was probably all the things to force her into retirement. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. She was like, "All right, I truly if I had not been in my isolated little corner,
that was it.
that would have just been it."
Mhm.
And she said she was perfectly fine with just living her life and moving on, but because of Immortal, she doesn't want to do that anymore. She wants to be with Immortal. And yeah,
And then
um,
the last
season.
thing.
Go ahead.
We forgot to talk about the after credit scene of the last episode.
Ah, fuck, you're right.
Yeah.
So yeah, Alan is using his implant to talk to
The Nolan.
Omnibro.
Yeah, Omni
And
Man, and then Omni Man's just like, I feel things for these insignificant, for these lesser beings now. Me being executed is my
My
penance.
punishment.
Yeah, my punishment. And then, it's like, and then Alan's like, hey, no, I'm here to recruit you, man. We're gonna fight him. And then he comes to the realization. He's like, I think I miss my wife.
yeah, and it's weird that he's bringing up the bug chick again, man. Like she was only in his life for a little bit of time, but like I
Yeah,
guess
like
if
I
that's
like
if I
like
guess
less
that's
than a
I
year.
guess I guess if that's who he truly loves, that's fair.
I mean, like, yeah, he does love that
No, he just goes, "I think I
hexapodicity.
miss my pet."
Yeah, he didn't say pet. He said his wife. His wife was the bug lady.
Yeah, but no, it's like, yep, he does he loves his wife. Yep.
He loves his wife. He loves his son. Like all these things are just like flooding with him, which
His very
are
purple
really
sun.
is just like the juxtaposed against like everything that like he's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And yeah, like once again, what Slur was saying is like this season does feel like a bit of like a buffer for the next season because yeah, the next season is going to be a big thing for Nolan, and Nolan really does have a very diminished role in this season.
Yeah, he spends
Well,
like
the
the first.
season is a buffer, but it's also like the space in which everybody's arc really moves on. Like, it is
Mhm.
mostly a character season. The
Yeah.
overarching plot of the story, we get little advancements here and there, but it's all setup stuff. You know, the Viltrumites are more poised to like move in on Earth. They're sending people. They're like paying close attention and all that. All the stuff with Alan and the fucking council of whatever the fuck. They're all just kind of like moving in the background. Nobody's making big plays this season. All the really big shit is character stuff. And I actually really like that they do that. I like when that stuff is given the space it needs to be the front and center of the story.
Yeah.
It is the best part of season 2 by far.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Because despite like honestly, despite the fucking time travel thing, I love the rest of the season. The rest of the season's fucking brilliant. Like all the character work, everything that they're going through, all the growth and shit like that. Um, the fixing, like it's weird to say the fixing of it, but sorry, you know what I mean when I say it. But like dealing with the Amber situation in a really fucking beautiful way, establishing the future, like the world building of all of the like Earth has like it's kind of like a growing theme that like Amber has her problems, but they're not as significant as Mark's, whereas Earth has its problems, but it's not as significant as everything going on in the universe, kind of deal. There's a lot of like parallels you can make between it. Just like I said, it's really fucking tight. If that fucking time travel thing didn't exist, I would say I would have nothing but absolute
It's
praise
a
for the season.
it's a massive toe stub on what was pretty much a, I don't want to say a perfect season, but it came damn near close for me at
Yeah,
least.
1,000,000%.
Like that's why like on a pure subjective level, I loved this way more than season 1.
Yeah, that's fair.
So that's
So
why
does that mean that time travel is the Amber of season 2? Whereas
yes.
Amber is now actually just a decent character?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Don't introduce time travel shit into your fucking any story. It's not fucking good. It's
The
normally a
second you
story's
introduce
fucking
time
kryptonite.
travel, your story then almost has to become about time travel because no element you introduce is going to be more
And
significant.
then you're
no
going to
matter
It's
have
what.
why,
to hard, you're going to have
we
to
were-
hard, like, autistically explain how it works precisely.
It's why before we started recording, we were talking a little bit about X-Men: Days of Future Past. The biggest fucking annoying thing I have about it is the fact that the present and the past are literally happening at the same time when that's not how fucking time works.
Mhm. Yeah.
It like time travel, it's the fucking kryptonite of storytelling. That I would honestly say that and multiverses, but multiverses is starting to make a bit of a comeback in terms of its quality. Multiverse of Madness really stomped on it for a lot of people.
It can be done well, but unfortunately, this is a scenario where it's not done well.
Yeah, at least like with something like Back to the Future, they for a moment admitted like one of the key flaws of like, if only if I had more time. Wait a minute, I'm in a time machine. I've got all the time in the world. But then only like says that, but then only goes back 30 minutes before Doc was supposed to get shot.
Mm-hmm.
I love Back to the Future, and yeah, that's still a massive fucking hole.
Mm-hmm. So yeah.
So, is that anyone else got anything to say?
Yeah. So
No.
now that we finally finished it up, overall rating, what do you think?
So I was originally gonna give it somewhere between an 8 and a 9. I think that's toe stubbing at the very least has brought it down a half a point, if not a whole point for me.
Slayer?
So
I mean, yeah, I think it deserves to account for the fucking obvious mistake of including the time travel thing, but I think one bad scene out of an entire season shouldn't set the tone for the overall impression. My overall impression is still that it's super fucking strong. So yeah, I'm happy with about an 8.
I mean, all it takes is
Um,
one scene to damn a
I give it
movie.
a 7.593377 repeating.
Yeah, if you could please evacuate via that airlock right there, that'd be
yeah,
appreciated.
honestly, yeah, getting this fucking slingshot, we're fucking shooting you out.
No, I'm good.
And yeah,
But
honestly,
we weren't fucking asking.
Well, you know
honestly-
what? Suck my dick.
and honestly, sir, yeah, I agree. Like, it shouldn't, but like, just personally, I can't get over it, and yeah, it brings it down to a 7 for me.
For some people,
Still,
all it takes is one bad scene, one bad day,
one cringe line.
one bad ring to rule them all.
Basically.
One bad poop to fight.
You see, Batman, cringe is like gravity. All it takes is a little.
Well, no, it's called.
Tism.
Well, no, it's called Mavity. Don't you understand?
All right, we'll see you all fucking next week, unless we got any last points.
I think that Anessa should have a beard.
Oh, well, yeah, I did make that joke. 'Cause, like, how are we supposed to know if she's a Viltrumite? She doesn't have a mustache.
Why did they? Okay, I'm sorry. Why did they have to be like 70s porn stashes? Like,